Okay. The thing says we're live. Hi, everybody. We're just gonna do some audio checks. Ding dong. But yeah, hey, we're back. Welcome, everybody. So excited for today. So as you can see, or maybe if you're just listening in, we've got me, Moontag, and Obsidian. Ash is out for today, but we'll be in the Discord later. But,
good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, he got sick again.
Yeah, that's what you get when you got kids.
Okay, I'm way too quiet on the stream.
Oh no! Hey, okay, let's see. Turn him up. Let's see if that's better.
I'm like way too low. So
yes, I think because like when I was chatting with you guys recently in the Discord, it was like blasting my eardrums. Everybody in the Discord, I was like, my poor ears. But yes, hi Sunglare, hi JD. Yes, it's still an hour away, but all good. We are hanging out. Audio testing. Testing audio. Yes.
No, I'm still super quiet, honey.
Seriously? Don't know why. I did restart my computer. So who knows if that did something to my settings. Say something.
It does something every single time this happens. It's so frustrating.
Move your mic closer.
You'd think... No, the microphone is literally 2 inches away from my face, so it's not that. Okay, there we go. That's better.
Okay. I just maxed out my desktop audio. Because last time it was showing all red when we were doing the recording. But yeah. Also, if you hear some extra background noises, that's them puppies. They get to hang out beside me all the time. Just FYI. Yes.
So we are starting. They've done this once or twice before, where they have like the background stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're playing the game right now. They're walking up and down this long hallway.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of seating. So this is going to be a fairly big showcase, obviously, because it's the release showcase. Which is why we're starting an hour early.
Yep.
Because we don't want to miss anything.
No.
And we want to make sure that we're getting all of the kind of like the background stuff. So they got some nice eerie music going on.
Right now I have it muted on our stream.
Ambience going, but that's it. So there's not much else other than that.
Yeah. I like those giant mushrooms they have off to the side there. Some nice decor. And like, isn't their whole setup inside like a castle or something?
Looks like it. They do live in a country where there's like 1,000-year-old buildings, so
y'all
made out of brick, which is just beautiful.
Gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Now, they've also had to deal with flooding issues, I think, twice in the development of this game, which is like, oh, that must be so annoying. To like lose a bunch of work to that.
No kidding. They probably have insurance for that too, though. Yeah,
and they've had to do it from time to time. So yeah, the Baldur's Gate has been moved up. This is kind of old news-ish, but for those of you who haven't been paying attention, Baldur's Gate was supposed to release on September. The end of August, right? Literally, I think like 2 days before Starfield, or a day before Starfield. And they decided to move it up a month because they figured that they could do that. This is, I think, probably really, 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 really good. Because like without doing that, you run the risk of, not enough people getting to see your game, or putting it on like the backlist of like, oh well, you know what, I'm going to go do this first, and then maybe they just never get around to it. There have been games that I have largely missed due to that. It's like, well, something else has just come out, and I'll get around to this later. I think Vampire Masquerade suffered that fate because it came out at a time where there was a bunch of other RPGs all coming out, and I'm talking the first one, the one that came out years and years ago, and it just wasn't. It just didn't have enough people to really make it a huge wave, because they just missed that window of opportunity by a hair, and then people put it on the backlist and then never got around to it. And it's like, that's what can happen to games when they release too close to other like big AAAs. And Starfield is looking like that big AAA. No game developer who watched that hour-long showcase was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a flop. It's like, it could still be a flop, but nobody was like, oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a flop. Not like in the past, when there's been other games that have dropped and they're just not good, right? It's like Doom, right? Like people who saw the original Doom trailers and stuff like that, there was a little bit of a hint. If you knew what you were looking for, you were kind of like, oh, they kind of resorted to like some real basic, repetitive stuff. I wonder if that's going to, sell. And the answer to that was obviously no. Like, the original Doom sold on pre-orders alone, basically. As soon as the game came out, people realized how terrible it was. It had like a 2-hour, 3-hour campaign. It was like, that was it.
Oof.
And there was just none of the what made it good, and what made it creepy and cringy and terrible was just like, again, just the poor writing and the poor logic and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff can happen, and we don't want to see that kind of stuff happen. We want to be able to, nod our heads and go, yeah, no, this is going to be a great game. Because if we can do that, then it's hunky dory, right? So yeah, we'll this is one of those games where Starfield, where it's like, you don't want to be near that release window, because if people only have $80 a month to spend on a game, if you're releasing in the same window, and that's $80 tops, right?
Yeah.
Like we gotta remember, there's a lot of gamers, their yearly budget for games is in around like $100 to $200. So having that spread out just a little bit helps enough that people might double down and get both titles.
Yeah.
So that's what we're kind of that's what I'm hoping for personally, because I really do think that both of these games are going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Because, well, one, we've played a lot of Baldur's Gate. We know what it's going to be like. We know that what it's going to offer. And right now, the alpha version of it is one of the best games I've ever played. So, unless they somehow revert all of those things to terrible mistakes, it's like, nah. The modding community is already thriving. Just absolutely thriving. Let me pull this up here because I'm curious.
Yeah. I like... Oh, the puppies are being dramatic. Sorry, guys. Hey, shh.
Oh no, puppies!
Oh no! The little sister's picking on the big brother. Yeah, because of course. Oh, they turned off that screen in the back there. I was looking at the screen that was beside the mushrooms over there. It was playing some scene things, and now it's done.
Yeah, that was they were playing the game there. I'm checking on a few things here. One, I want to make sure that they haven't popped a update out for the game. So there is no update as of right now.
Okay.
Yeah, still no update on the game as of right now.
Okay.
And then the other thing I
Yeah.
want to check out is going to be. I'm trying to do this super quietly because I know how much everybody hates clickety clack of keys.
Clickety clack. Yeah. That's why I have everything all set up beforehand. Waha ha ha. I also like that.
So let's check the mods. So the mods that have released this week. So just this week.
Just this week.
Right before, literally right before the launch of the game. We're talking like this is launching in less than a month. And still 5 mods out this week. Popular last 30 day mods, we've got I believe we got 13. So for a game that was announced like a while ago that is dropping at the end of August here. Oh, sorry, at the beginning of August. End of July. This is actually really huge because again, we're looking at a large amount of modders being active and working in the space. And again, these are all brute forced mods. These are not mods made with a mod tool.
Okay. Huh.
I got some pepper down the wrong end.
Oh no. Oh no. Will you live? I hope so.
Trying to. I need water.
Oh no. Okay.
But yeah, all these mods are being made without mod tools, and that's a lot harder. It's not a. In some cases, it's not that much harder, but in most cases, it is. In some cases, like if you're just changing out a simple skin or something like that, it's pretty easy. You just open up, you export the skin, you open it up, you edit it, and you infuse it back in, and then you set it up to do a simple override. That is pretty simple in some cases. It depends on file structure and a couple other things. It also depends on how accessible the mods are. So, for example, when I did a bunch of mods for Fallout 4, I didn't use the Fallout 4 modding tools to do those early day mods. I used the Skyrim modding tools to make those mods. So the Skyrim modding tool worked for Fallout 4, obviously, in a lot of cases. Especially, I think the first couple of mods that we did were sound based, and so basically you just run it through this program that encrypts the audio file into the animation network, so that when you play the audio through an NPC is talking, it rigs it to their mouth so that they're mouthing the words. It's very simple, and then you literally just drag and drop it as a replacement file, and boom, you got it. And there's no double check. There's no fancy security system checking for infusion type mods, which is also the way that you cheat. So when you do that, you can get a really, really good mod. And this is where we're really excited to see what's coming down the pipe here. For modding tools in Baldur's Gate 3 when they eventually get around to putting those out, because they've said how committed they are to helping the community grow. And I think that's really important that they do this. We don't know for sure yet or not whether that's ultimately going to come out, but I suspect we're going to get 2 to 3 story DLC depending on how the game sells, and depending on how the first expansion DLC sells. We will see we'll see them adjust to those figures. So if it's really good, if it's really positive, if they're making a lot of money, they're going to make probably up to 3 major DLCs and a ton of smaller DLCs. Then they're going to release the big, like, custom-made GM tool set. So this is going to be a tool set within the game, and maybe some tools outside of the game, but mostly in the game, to allow people to create custom-made experiences that they can live GM or DM, I suppose you should say, that you can live DM whilst you're hosting it for your friends. So you get a bunch of friends in, they're playing the game. You can literally drag and drop enemies in. You can take over NPCs, and I don't know if they'll have a chat system set up, but that's a possibility. So that's like super exciting, because this is the tabletop virtual experience that people have been waiting so long for, and that for some reason, not since Neverwinter Nights 1 have we even been close to this. And Neverwinter Nights 1 was like, I mean, that game is like 2 decades old or more.
Yeah, no, that's a long ass time. It's nice we're finally getting a new thing.
Stop that, yeah, in the chat. Stop that, which is a hilarious name, by the way.
Yeah, I love that name. Hi there.
Vampire the Masquerade came out the same day as Half-Life 2.
Yeah, that was right.
Right, and they thought that was a safe bet, because they're like, well, this is an RPG and that one's a shooter, and surely that. But the amazing visualness, the amazing visual style of Half-Life 2, and the way that they structured stuff. My first experience with Half-Life 2, in a stunning sense, was probably I was doing work, and I came back to the city, and I went to a computer store, and they were playing Breaking Benjamin, made in with the Fallout, or with the Half-Life 2 engine, and I have never been able to get that out of my head since then. That was one of these moments where it was like, holy crap, this is what the world can offer. And that is so absolutely, it was so groundbreaking, so amazing that I was like, literally like, wow, this is absolutely phenomenal. And that is what we've been. That's what gaming is all about, right? Like that's the thing that we want to see more in gaming, is like stuff that has this big like cultural moment of like stuff. I do remember people asking, some guy was watching it at our dorm, and he was like, why does the video look like that? And I was like, because it's made in a game. He's like, you mean like Mario Brothers? It's like, dude, this was still like 20 years ago, but still, like, Mario Brothers was old news at that point. Like, it's so weird. So, anyways, that was a funny thing. But yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. Oh man, that game just hit a wall. That hit a wall through sheer like bad luck.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Oh, hey, that guy in the thing with the costume with the swords. He's wandering around the mushrooms there. Looks like he's cosplaying Vampire Dude.
Oh yeah. There we got somebody cosplayed, and it looks like a really good.
It looks like a really good cosplay. Yeah.
That's the other thing, is like, I doubt that's an employee. I suspect that is a streamer or a community content creator who just so happens to be
a fan,
a very good cosplayer. So they've had a couple people from the community come by these showcases in the past. They especially had. I think they're bringing people into the season.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. There's a line. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
Because I've been seeing like some people walk by in dressy clothes and whatnot, and I'm like, ah.
I see some of those people look like they look like, normal, everyday
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
folks, not people tied or connected to the
Mm-hmm.
to the event.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people are in costume. Other people are in you can tell that they're dressed nice. They have earbuds in, so they're communicating on radio or something like that. So that means they're part of the staff as they're getting ready to showcase this stuff. Um, yeah, so that's something a little bit different. Oh, they got the TV back up and running.
Yay!
It looks like
Fiery
somebody's talking
scene.
to somebody.
Yup. Yup.
There's a I think that's their previous. I think that's the Paladin one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Paladin
Mm-hmm.
Oathbreaker scene that they're showing off there.
Okay, okay.
So, meanwhile, let's quickly chat about the.
Mm-hmm.
Let's quickly chat about the. Let's see if I can get this open here. The release classes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the last classes they released was a paladin and a barbarian, right?
Yes. So they
Yeah.
they released those, but we're gonna have a. Oh, for crying out loud! Had to specify Baldur's Gate 3 because apparently this thing is too stupid to know how to do anything.
Okay.
Nope, that's still a year old. Oh, come on.
Uh,
Where is the new one?
Aren't there patch notes on the Steam page?
No, okay, so okay, here we go. Subclasses. Cleric is getting knowledge, life, light, nature, tempest, trickery, and war. Now, the wizard and the cleric are getting the most amount of subclasses in the game because it's pretty easy. Let's be honest. It's pretty easy to do those because most of those are just baseline spells and baseline skills and a handful of other things. It's not as game defining as a bloodline sorcerer versus a stormy sorcerer. Those are very two different things. An ancient's paladin versus an oathbreaker paladin, very different. And please let me know in the comments what your favorite class is going to be. What's your favorite class? What's your subclass that you're looking for? Yeah, cleric of travel. Yeah, I think their ultimate goal is to hit almost every single official subclass that's out there, including, and I've heard this more than once before, is that they're going to introduce at some point. I don't think this is going to be at launch. I think this is going to be a post-launch thing. They're going to launch a brand new class. I've heard this rumor a couple times. It's a rumor. Don't take it as gospel. Take it with kind of a grain of saltish. But there are a couple of official classes that they've been kind of looking into doing. And I've heard this more than once from more than one person. So something down the road that we could get that is very different, very unique, very interesting. We'll see. So anyways, fighter, we're going to have Battlemaster, Eldritch Knight, and Champion. Ranger, we're going to have Hunter, Beastmaster, and Gloomstalker. And Mooney, you've done a couple of tabletop experiences before, but in a lot of those cases, you were playing as original created character classes because most of them weren't set in the actual D&D universe, right? The one with the one where the lady was playing as the bird. You were telling me about.
I was playing as a bird.
You were playing as a bird.
Acrocroa. I can't pronounce it, but I was playing as a birdie person, and I was gonna be what was it? Some kind of mancer. Something Mancer. I don't remember. Psst. Dogs are tearing up their pads. But yeah, no, I was playing a something Mancer because I wanted to make a homunculi companion as a pet. Because I wanted like a little flying drake, little flying snake friend. And it was interesting because like that was my first time and only time ever doing like a tabletop thing, and I was like, I don't really get how this works. And like the other people I was playing with, they're like full on like into it, like critical role into it, and I'm just like, I I don't know. Hello, I have nothing. I am very poor and I have amnesia. I don't know. It was very like personally, I thought I was very cringe because I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I do not have this character developed whatsoever. I'm just gonna play as me, kind of, but like me knowing that me is playing a game, kind of thing. It was very weird for me because I'm not used to that kind of gameplay. I like this sort of setup where it's like it is like the RPG, it is like kind of the D&D universe kind of thing, but it's like I don't have to act too hard. I like the whole like silent protagonist sort of thing, whereas like I can choose my responses, I can choose my reactions. Like I like that rather than like being thrust onto a stage and forced to be like, yes, the thing and the other and this and that. Like, heck.
Well, this will help you like experience the world like a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got Rogue. Rogue is going to be Arcane Trickster. Assassin, that's the new one, and Thief. Assassin is going to be probably like super overpowered because it's all about killing and like, yeah. Rogues are always kind of like the rogues and bards are often the jack of all trades. So we'll see how that goes. We got Warlock, the Archfey, the Fiend, and the Great One. Got the Wizard. Oh, they changed. Did they change something on the screen there? Oh yeah, they did. They changed the screen again. Zoomed in. It's a very bad camera angle, but yeah, we'll see. Wizard got a gerberation. I can never say that word properly. Conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, necromancy, illusion, transmutation. Again, a lot of those just boil down to different focus on different spell types. They're not, again, as different as as the druid. So druid, we've got land, moon, and spores. Barbarian, we've got berserker. We've got wild heart, and we've got wild magic. So wild magic, wild heart, and berserker. I think we have yeah, we have a wild magic for sorcerer as well. So that's going to be like only minorly confusing. I wonder if you can dual spec into barbarian wild magic and sorcerer wild magic. That would be funny. We got bard is going to have lore, valor, and swords. Sorcerer, we're going to have wild magic, draconic bloodline, stormy sorcery. I'm probably going to go. So my normal fusion is to do as much of a sword dancer build as I can. So often what I do, because they haven't had sword dancer since 3.5, normally what I do is I take either a bard or a sorcerer and I enhance them with a little dash of sometimes paladin, sometimes fighter, but enough to kind of make them like cleric sometimes, because it depends on each rule set. But typically, if I'm like handcrafting it with this, I found the best is to just go sorcerer and then throw in a little dash of combat focus when it comes to talents and feats and stuff like that. Paladin, we got Ancients, Devotion, Vengeance, and Oathbreaker. So that's going to have 4 subclasses. As we know, you start with Ancients, Devotions, and Vengeance, and then you get to include Oathbreaker in that at some point if you break your oath. So that's going to be really interesting and how that plays out, because like I wonder if most paladins will default to Oathbreaker at some point, just because they're like, oh, I promised to do this, and then it's like, well, that's going to cost you, that's going to cost you so much. You're going to lose a companion at one point, or you're going to not have this quest go the way you think, or there's going to be a murder of some sort, or a death of some sort because you can't, you have to like stay true to your oath, and that's kind of the cool thing. And I'm really excited to see that in the Paladin gameplay, because it's just so cool to see that. I am so stoked for that, because it makes the role play in this role play game way more serious, and I think that's awesome. I really do. I think that's absolutely awesome. So that'll be interesting. And then we've got Monk, open hand, shadow, and 4 elements. Shadow is going to be pretty cool, I would suspect. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one's going to play out in higher levels, and to see what kind of comes out from that, because it's going to be pretty. That's normally pretty cool. So that's that. Sunglare says, whatever class you take, try and find a way to speak with animals. Do much additional content with that spell and ability.
Yeah, 100%. I always get speak with animals, because speak with animals.
It's very cute. It's very adorable in a lot of cases. And they are going to have, I believe it's 3 different difficulties. I'm gonna just Google to make sure that we got. Difficulty levels. Yes, 3 difficulty options. I wasn't sure whether I had imagined one of them. So the story mode is one difficulty. Hardcore mode is the next difficulty. And where is that third one? Oh my goodness, where is the third one? Oh, sorry, it's the default normal mode. So default normal mode is basically what we've had in early access. The hardcore mode is more difficult. Enemy AI will prioritize weaker targets and really go in for the kill. So that I think that's the difficulty I'll probably end up playing on, because I don't typically go into a fight with a glass cannon. Like not a glass cannon who can't who's not like highly mobile or something like that. And for the most part, I think Gale is pretty much a glass cannon, or can be until he gets his like big defensive skills. But even then, you're kind of burning spell slots on defensive skills. So we'll see with that. But I'm probably going to roll with the hardcore mode on from the get go.
Because of course you would.
Well, I say that, but then I'm also like, that means that they're going to go for NPCs in fights, and I hate that. I do the when I do the story mode, there's a big battle. There's a couple of big battles, and in each big battle, there's some NPCs that I really want to live. I really want them to live, but they're usually weak AF. Like 2 enemies get on them, they're dead, and it's like, okay, I hate that. I want the NPCs to live. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I don't know which one. I don't know. I'll have to think about this a little bit more, because I was like, I just realized that now. I'm like, oh, right, the NPCs are going to be like, especially the NPCs are going to be targeted way, way more. And I usually don't come with a boatload of heals. So that's going to be sad. What I'll do maybe is I'll bring along our favorite emo elf, and I'll have her go
full cleric or something.
Full life cleric.
Cleric, yeah.
Yeah, probably life cleric, and just really like make sure that everybody is alive all the time, and like buffing and putting up defenses. I don't know if I don't know the wizard that well. Wizard is the class I've never played it. I've never ever played a wizard. Like obviously I've played a wizard I played Gale in the single player campaign, so I guess I sort of have played a wizard, but I've never like mainlined a wizard, so I don't know if there's a particular subclass that really focuses on like preventative damage and buffing and keeping people alive through those kinds of spells. So, devotion paladin, maybe that's the thing.
Maybe
That's the thing. I don't know.
Because like mostly when I've played like wizard stuff before is because I want projectile magic.
Yeah, projectile magic is always fun. Always needed. The warlock is kind of interesting, and I have been thinking about doing a warlock sorcerer combo build to get my sword dancer, because I believe it's the warlock can fuse with or bind themselves to a weapon, to a particular weapon. And so that's really interesting. I'm like, oh yes, I like that idea. That's a good idea.
Stop that in the chat says abjuration school, I think.
Maybe that is abjuration. The one that I can't pronounce, which I typically avoid because I can't pronounce it. That's kind of funny. I wonder if the moon druid is going to be up there for like healing and stuff like that.
That would be cool.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so it looks like we got about 20 minutes until the show starts. So coming up very quickly here. And yeah, it looks like they're starting to get people to file in, or at least like I see a camera person and a stage, getting ready for the stage. I'm so excited for the stage. It's always been very amusing, very fun when they put on these panels from hell. So yeah, super excited. I wonder who they're gonna have dress up this time, because like so far each panel they have like somebody dressed up as like the class they're in. Oh, I see Sven. I see armor.
Oh no, I'm missing the armor.
Abjuration gives you some temp HPs that regenerate over time. It's a very small amount though, so it'll save you from like small hit combat. Okay. That still helps a little bit. Right now I'm playing through Octopath Traveler, and I've got some regen boosts like that as well per turn. So like it helps to a certain degree. And let's see here. Yeah. I will be muting myself every now and then throughout the stream because the puppies, they're very active. One of them fell down. That's okay.
Oh no.
That's okay. They're very bouncy, and now they're wrestling. It's like Saber keeps picking on Arthur. Like she's just like, I got this, and doing a head waggle. But yeah, no, I saw, honey, when you stepped away there, I saw Sven, his armor was reflecting in the background there, and I was like, armor! So yeah, I'm excited to see what costumes they have for this show.
About 15 minutes out.
Counting down. And Singular in the chat was saying that Abjuration gives you temp HP that regenerate over time. And yeah, I have a boost like that in my Octopath Traveler game right now, where I'm just like, yes, health.
So there is a lot of people who are avoiding spoilers and stuff like that. And so it's always kind of funny. So I really think that this game is going to be quite huge. The hype for this is like, I don't think it'll be the number one bestseller of the season, obviously, because it is still one of those niche type games in that it's a heavy RPG, and heavy RPGs have really like not been common. And let me know what your thoughts on this are. Because heavy RPGs are a game where it's like you're role playing a character almost constantly. And you
Mhm.
can't just button mash through stuff. Like
Mhm.
even in Star Rail,
Mhm.
which I would
Mhm.
say is more RPG because you're sitting there like when you're leveling up, you're doing a lot of talking. And
Mhm.
if you actually read the lines and you actually go through
Mhm.
the way that streamers play the game typically,
Yeah.
they're reading the interaction, they're dealing with that as a from the perspective of like, I'm showcasing what this game has. It's way more focused on the story than on the characters, than the combat. You're not really focusing all that much on the combat. It basically like is relatively easy. It's not until you hit the quote unquote end game or the end of the storyline that the combat really opens up and becomes way more focused on that, and then events typically focus on combat, stuff like that. So that's what I would typically say is sort of extra, because if you're playing for the point that the developers want you to have in that, for the most part, it is not focused um, on the mechanics of the gameplay as far as combat goes. It's mostly focused on the story, and that's what most current day RPGs are like. Where it's like, yeah, you have the option to do combat, but it's really more story based. And Final Fantasy is another good example of this, where it's like it's a lot of it is story. There's a ton of it that's story, and so much so that some people criticize the game for being way too focused on the story and not being focused enough on what they see or what they think of what the game should be, which is kind of weird, but it's still one of those interesting concepts as far as like what current gaming is like these days and what we're
Mhm.
seeing coming from the big AAA studios. Because what we're seeing is we're not seeing the traditional concept of what you know what these games can bring. And so yeah, it's an interesting side note in what where video gaming is currently, because again, it's like we have RPGs, but we haven't had an RPG this deep.
Mhm.
And what's this deep? Well, it's 300 hours. Sorry, not I think no, I'm blowing that over proportion.
Hey, that sounds like
That's the
a
total
lot.
game time. It's 176 hours. I'm gonna pull this up just so that I know I'm not
Okay.
talking through the but it's I
Yeah.
think it's 176 hours
Mhm.
of in-game narrative
Mhm.
scenes that they've made.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
in-game cinematics.
Mhm.
Uh, sorry. Yes, I overstated that. I said 176. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My bad. I was wrong. It's only 174. So
Oh,
only
wow.
174 hours
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
of actual in-depth, scene by scene, moment by moment, interactive voiced character
Mhm.
lines. This is massive.
It's crazy. That's crazy because.
This is twice the length of the entire Game of Thrones series
Ah
on
ha
TV.
ha. Uh-huh.
Twice the length.
Twice.
So if you're looking for deep RPG,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is it, man. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to define the RPG mechanics going forward. And I really,
Mm-hmm.
really hope that they nail it to the point where it's like it's good, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I want this to be so good that every other company that's making an RPG out
Mm-hmm.
there has to stop and ask themselves, crap, have we
Have we missed the mark
are
entirely?
we at where we need to be at?
Yeah.
Are we doing what we need to do to make this game, really, really stand out?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the question, and that is a very good question, and it's a very difficult question because for a lot of studios, they're not going to have the budget to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know yet whether or not this is a smart move on Larian. It could be
Mm-hmm.
that some people just get overwhelmed. It's like you're asking me to play through twice the entire length of the entire storyline for Game of Thrones
Mm-hmm.
in the TV version. It's
Mm-hmm.
like there's at some point this is just not. I just don't have time for this, and so some people might be daunted and might not even get into the game because of that. But I think that people, and I think this is why they've had putting this out into early access was such a good idea.
Yep. Yep. Hands
Not
down.
only that, I do need to point out that you're not locked down into playing the game in this format. You're not being told that that this is the only way that you can play the game.
You gotta do it
Obviously,
or else.
yeah. Obviously, this is everything that's possibly in the game, which is not the main focus of the game. So when you're playing through it, you're making choices, you're making decisions,
Mm-hmm.
you're choosing which ways to go. So I think you can cut that down probably in half at the very least. So
Mm-hmm.
you are playing not twice the length of Baldur's Gate on one playthrough. You're playing through maybe slightly under that, or maybe a lot under that, and then the optional scenes, the additional scenes, these are all going to stem from over and above what you can do, right? Over
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
above what can be made to work in that regard, as far as like how much scenes you see and how much interactions you get and all that kind of stuff. That's all like doubly, way more than that. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a thing. Sunglare says I wasn't expecting them to spoil who the absolute is, and I was disappointed.
Aw.
Did they spoil that? Don't spoil it
I
in the comments. But I was pretty sure that they didn't spoil that, unless I'm losing my mind.
I
I
don't I
it
don't
could be
recall,
okay.
but
So we're gonna not say who that is
I
or what
don't
that point
know.
of the. I've managed to stay spoiler free up to this point, as far as like what that what that particular story line goes. So yeah,
Mm.
let's not.
Let's not do that. Yeah, we
Yeah, no,
got T
won't. Okay.
minus less than 9 minutes.
Sunglare, where did you see that? Just like, did you see this on a trailer? Did you see it in an article? Did you see it in like somebody reporting on it? Like, where did you see
Where is
that?
this? Yeah.
Yeah, where did that come in?
Mm-hmm.
Where did that clip in? Because I have been ignoring like any like non-official
Mm-hmm.
content on the game
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I really don't want to be spoiled. I really do not want to be spoiled. So as far as like that ending, and as far as like a couple other aspects of the ending, I'll be like once the game comes out, I'll try to be like I'm gonna try to be playing it like pretty hard. It's gonna be really rough because like yeah, oh good lord.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I'll be streaming a lot of it too. Maybe we'll see. I might stream it. I might not because the just like if I'm doing edit cuts and reviews and stuff like that, then
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be like yeah. I don't think I want to be doing that too much because I'm afraid of I'll be afraid of like that won't be a smooth experience. So like when I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing like guides and videos and stuff like that, I cut in. It was in one of their trailers when they introduced some more characters. It came from Larian. They were literally like, here is the character. They are the absolute. They made a big deal on who it was, the voice actor.
Oh.
Are you sure that that was the absolute? I didn't get that. I know they were like, hey, look at this guy. He's a big. There's like 3 big name voice actors they've got, and they specifically said that none of those were the main the main primary bad guys of the game. Like, they specifically said that they haven't announced who the big end bad guys are. That they've kept, I think they've kept 3 of them, or it might be 2. It might be 2 or 3 of them in the like completely secret. No, because I think I know which one you're talking about, and they did specify that was not the case. That was a main character, a main bad guy, but it was not the main bad guy. And that there are 2 others that are going to be in there as well. So I would kind of, especially if you look back at Larian's previous games, they do like to throw in twists. So in a lot of those previous games, there was this twist of like, oh, you think this is the bad guy. Well, actually not. That's not the bad guy. Turns out the bad guy is actually this person over here who you didn't suspect at all.
Supplies.
No, that is true. That might be the main bad guy, but no, I guess we'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Because right now it's like I didn't pick that up. I know that we got the golem guy, and then there's another guy behind the scenes that's like sort of pulling the strings, but not. If you know how to read narrative, like not from a general standpoint, but from like a writer standpoint of like doing setups and stuff. There was clearly like 1 or 2 red herrings in what they did post, and or things that are meant to confuse and obfuscate content. So it could be because I'm looking at it like that, and I've been wrong on that before. I've overanalyzed the story before and going, this isn't what they will do, because clearly only an idiot would do that. And turns out, well, actually, yeah, that is what they did do.
Dun, dun, dun.
So yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it depends quite heavily. So
also, we got about 4 minutes or so,
4
according
minutes
to their
the show
countdown.
starts, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button. It helps us a lot. And hit subscribe so you get your notifications, hopefully. And join our Discord if you haven't yet already. We're in there very often, chit-chatting and hanging out, posting things like food and pets and shows we like and whatnot and so forth. Yeah, good bunch of peeps. And thank you for everybody who's been interacting in the chat. We love you guys. It was great hanging out with everyone and so excited. And oh yeah, I'm excited to try out the multiplayer for this game as well, because it's like, I don't really play a lot of multiplayer games, and if I do, it's usually like co-op strategy, like very simple, like straightforward stuff like what Northgard with you and Polly's a whole bunch and stuff. So it'll be really interesting to see how we can play through this as like an actual like role-playing co-op team thing. Yeah.
Well, the multiplayer is going to be pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
I'm super stoked for the multiplayer, because the multiplayer is a huge promise of what they can do, and where ultimately I think this game will land as far as like its sustainability and its long-termness, because it's like, if you can get this the way that it's going to be, like this is going to be huge. Yeah, 6 hero party, that's a big request.
Yeah, that would be nice. Have more than 4, that would be great. And yes, Sunglare, I will join you in Tybin. That sounds fun. Yeah, it would be nice to have a large party of people to game with. Yeah. Yeah, I do see 5 or 6 character party requests in the panel chat there.
In the big chat, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
A lot of them. Somebody's like, Sven.
I like the banter from a lot of the characters.
Right? It's very fun, very entertaining. And just like gives that much more like feels to the whole gaming experience. And I like all the different reactions from your companions when you do things. Oh my gosh, like most of the seats are full. Looks like they're doing some last minute tie-ups. Oh my gosh, it's just a minute, you guys, it's just a minute. Do.
Some people guesstimating that DLC might have open up level 14, 16, and 18. It's one of those things where it's like, you gotta understand, level 20 characters are basically like demigods. Like, a level 20 character is like, they're a mover and a shaper of, like, continental things. But it is interesting to note.
All right, we got 30 seconds. I'm gonna turn on the audio now for them, and yeah.
Let's go!
The spook.
The best game ever! Best RPG ever!
Yes.
And I think Starfield's gonna be the best action RPG ever.
Here we go.
Like, that art looks amazing.
Yes.
Oh,
Precious. I love all the artwork. It is great, and it looks like it's all fan art too.
yeah, this is all the fan art that people tweet at them, and then they gather it up and they repost it.
So good.
Oh, look at that vampire romance stuff. Oh my goodness, that's making a big comeback.
Aww.
Right, so it's just a few spells that didn't make it.
How can you forget a bunch of spells in the last update?
They fell out. It's a big list. Out of a picture, they just didn't make it.
What did you forget?
Shields,
But there's a body back there.
see invisibility, arcane lock.
Arcane lock?
No, arcane lock.
It's a kind of practical joke. The door's locked.
Oh.
No.
Door's closed. Anybody?
Kieran?
Kieran.
Hi.
Hey. Kieran. Hello. Hello.
He's dead.
He's not dead.
Wait. I'm proficient in medicine? I can tell. I think Kieran's dead.
Gentlemen. I think there's a murder among us. Let's hurry up, quick! All right, that should be good. Oh, any signal? Nothing?
You gotta signal. Block the door with the sword.
Anyway, I think we're safe.
Oh no!
Their acting is so
I love
great.
they're freaking out. This is very dramatic.
I knew it! It was you! Me? Yes! It was him! How can it be me? I don't know, but we gotta go. It's Battle from Hell time.
Now?
Yeah! He's a producer. He can fix himself. Come. We gotta go, Nick. We gotta go. It's time. It's Battle from Hell time.
It's fine. I'll be right over. I'll just indeed, put this back in. Like this. And then cover it up with this. And it'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
Few mortals ever glimpse what you're about to see.
Ah, Gale.
But don't be alarmed. I'm here with you. Now, open your eyes.
Oh, romance. Aww. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! The squirrel just dropped his butt!
Master, you are the chosen one.
Oh, can I not be the chosen one, Morpheus? I really don't want to be the chosen one, Morpheus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Panel from Hell number 8. The last Panel from Hell that we'll ever do for Baldur's Gate 3, because the game is about to be released in less than a month from now on August 3rd. We know we surprised you all with our early announcement of the earlier release date, something we've never done in our careers. But then again, the game was already actually delayed, and we just moved it a little bit earlier. Why did we move it earlier? Well, it is because we disconnected the release of our console versions from our PC version, and that allows us to release the PC version a little bit earlier. To get all the practicalities out of the way, what does that mean? That means that the game is coming to everybody on early access 4 weeks earlier instead of the 3 days that we said initially. You're going to get it on August 3rd. You will be able to play all of Baldur's Gate 3 and have an incredible adventure. It's going to come on 6th of September to PS5 and then other platforms, which we actually haven't officially announced, and therefore I will not announce officially right now, are going to be later when we are finished with the optimizations. We're working hard on them. We wanted to sim ship, didn't work out. Shit happens. It is what it is. This is the development. But speaking of development, this has been a development of 6 years for our entire team. We have many of our teams sitting in the audience, and my job here today is to guide you through a journey of what Baldur's Gate 3 is. I can only show you a very small slice of this enormous game that has so much content, that has so much permutations, and that respects your identity so much, that tries to offer you so much consequence to the choices that you're going to be making. I'm going to be joined by a whole bunch of people here, but before I do that, we are going to talk a little bit about the Digital Deluxe Edition, because I forgot that one. The Digital Deluxe Edition is coming to everybody who bought the game in early access. So you're going to get all of the content for free. You're not going to have to buy anything. You're going to get the Digital Bard Song Pack, the exclusive dice, Treasures from Revelon, Adventurer's Pouch, and a bunch of bonus digital content, all for free, because you supported us so much during early access. And we cannot thank you enough. This game would not have been possible the way that it is now if it wouldn't have been 3 years in early access. And actually, I don't know if you've been counting, but last Sunday it was 1,000 days in early access, which is a very long time. It took us a long time to finish it. There was obviously a few accidents in the universe around us that didn't help in this, but we are now at the end of the journey, and we are very, very proud. So, we're going to be joined by a bunch of people. I'm going to kick off with a video which is going to talk about character creation, and then we will have a chat about the stuff that you saw. There's a lot of new things for you to discover. So let's get started with this character creation video.
Every choice that you make in character creation has an influence on the way the story will play
There's
later.
the orcs.
Before you even start the game is ready to react to you based upon the character that you have created.
First and
Oh, I love the
foremost,
new art
we,
that
of
they're going
course, adding
for.
some new races, which is long-awaited half-orcs and dragonborns, with some of the unique customization options.
Ooh.
And I'm really happy with how
good
our dragonborns
dragonborns.
currently look and
Yeah,
animate.
a lot of people in the main chat were very excited for the
everything you
Dragonborn.
need to know to like hit the ground
JD in
running with a
our
character
chat.
that you feel happy to play.
It's not a superficial engine. You aren't just making aesthetic choices about your character, you're defining their identity. So if you choose your class, your race, your pronouns, any of these things that you choose in there, they will be not only honoured through the game, but they will impact your experience.
Classes are very central to the process of playing D&D. For us, it was super important to hit the class fantasy.
For release, Baldur's Gate's class system is like stupidly deep now. We've got 12 classes, 46 subclasses.
On average, like every class has 3 subclasses, but with cleric and a wizard, they have like 7 subclasses and 8 subclasses, like respectively. And also you can mix and match them, like for all of them. Like multi-classing is a feature in our game.
Within that, we've tried our best to like include as much content from Player's Handbook as possible. I think we've got something like over 600 spells and actions available to the player, so you're never going to be short for options. One thing we wanted to make sure was that every class and subclass has a toolkit they feel like they're not being shortchanged on at all.
One of the brilliant things about this game is that when you make a choice about your class, it isn't purely a gameplay choice. It won't just affect combat, but it will actually affect the dialogues. For example, I know with the Warlock class, we've done a lot of work to develop how that will interact with dialogue choices. So you now have the option to call on your patron to get some insight, some advice in situations that might lend you an advantage.
Probably the best example of how your class can impact the storyline is that every druid character or characters with animal speaking spells can talk to every animal in the game. There are dozens and dozens of animal-based conversations and quest lines that you just wouldn't be able to access if you weren't playing as that class.
If you're a barbarian, your whole skill set lends itself to being loud and just using force. What class you've picked will change how you experience the game throughout.
So we're talking,
Right,
we're talking like
for
46
surprise number 1 of the
different
night, we
playthroughs.
completely revamped character creator. We're going to chat a little bit with Elena, who's our lead character artist, with Adam, one of our lead writers, well, the lead writer actually, Crystal, associate lead writer, and Nick, who is our lead systems designer. So we'll start with you, Nick. No, we'll start with you, Elena. We are going to start making a custom character. We're going to have a look at all of the new options out there, and at the same time, we're going to explore the new character creation screen. Let's start with the elf, I believe.
Yeah, so here you can see our beautiful racial lineup. And some of you already has spotted some new races, which we're gonna dive into. But maybe before that, we can also show you what we added.
So let's do
that.
maybe like for each race, let's show one new customization option as we progress. So let's start with elves. What would you customize on elves if you would start?
So for elves, I wanna show you our kind of skin customization options. So we added maturity, which is a slider, which can make you a bit older.
Oh, interesting.
We have freckles and freckles intensity, so you can really be unique in your look. And we of course have vitiligo pigmentation.
All right, cool.
Oh.
All right, let's move on. Let's have a look at the next one.
All right.
Tieflings.
Tieflings, yeah. So some of you might have guessed, but we've added horn customization. Well,
finally,
you already could customize how your horns look, but now you can customize your horn color and even your horn tip color.
All right.
Shall we get
excellent.
this purple?
Cool.
All
right, it's
I
very
like
pretty.
the purple
I
horn.
like it.
All right. Coolest. All right, let's move onwards.
Okay, drow character. So for drow character, we can show you some of the scarring options that we have. And not only we added some additional customization option, but as you can see now, you can actually see what you customize.
Okay.
So there are some beautiful icons.
All right. Excellent. All right, let's move forward.
Right, humans. So what we want to showcase for humans is actually more hair options. So now it's a really long list to scroll. And you can finally see what you're picking as well, because
the hair
there
in
was
the
so
game
many
is,
options.
is really, really special and amazing. But it's a lot of work, right, to get every single hair in there.
the work is like really intense.
Much better
one
hair.
hairstyle can take
Much,
a lot of
much
time
better
because
hair.
you basically hand place in each and every hair, like in the place, in the position. It's much harder than, you know, doing like a hairdo.
I can imagine. All right, let's move onwards.
All right. Githyanki.
My favorites.
Yeah. Actually, let's go
But my
with
second
the-
favorites now.
Yeah.
You changed that.
With Githyanki, well, I wanted to show our hair coloring options as well. So this is something that we added in early access. So you can have 3 hair colors. You can have your natural hair color, you can have your highlight, and then you can have grain color. And we're adding more colors on release, actually. So it's gonna give you the opportunity to, you know, have a 3-colored hair.
All right. Okay, let's move forward.
Nice.
All right, dwarves. Well, of course, I want to showcase some facial hair for the dwarves. There are a couple of extra options if you want to pick them. Some nice bushy beards.
The bushy beard.
Yeah. Some silly beards, of course.
I like that one. Let's go for that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Half-elf. So with half-elf, actually I want to showcase the body type.
True.
Yeah. We haven't shown the body type. So now, not only you can be, well, just the regular body type, but also the strong body type.
Oh.
Finally.
Oh.
Indeed.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, move on.
Half elves
Right, half
rocking
elves.
it.
Thick.
Oh
For
my.
halflings, well,
It's halflings. You want to
yeah.
throw them around. I mean, that's literally the thing with halflings.
I would imagine
Would
so.
I prefer even overthrowing halflings? Your next one.
Funky,
Ground
there'll
gowns.
be a mod for that.
absolutely. With gnomes, so they are really, really easy to throw away. All right.
Indeed. We can show you one extra thing that we've added to our body art tab, which is piercings, which are also available for all of the races.
Okay, cool. All right, you've been busy. Go ahead. What else do you have? You have orcs there?
Half orcs, yes.
Oh, they look very cool.
Yeah. So with half orcs, I do recommend going with everything, you know, add a tattoo, add a piercing design, and obviously you can't have a half orc without a good scar, so let's go with that.
All right, very cool. Okay, let's move onwards to the race that everybody's been playing ever since we introduced it here in the studio.
Ah, yes.
Are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Drum roll.
Dragon boys.
Definitely.
Show him.
Dragonborns. Here they are.
Ah, so cool.
Dragonborns is actually our most technically challenging race because other races are humanoids, these guys are reptiles. Took insane amount of efforts to get them right, to make their scales perfect, to color them. Like it's been truly a journey making these guys.
Very long one, but they look fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can customize a lot about your dragon heads,
so
right?
cool.
Yeah, there are a couple of attachments you can pick from, and all of the attachments work on all of the heads. And of course, there is a skin color, which, we added a bunch of very exciting options for you guys. There are metallic skin colors, like kind of
wow.
skin colors.
That is beautiful.
But what's
You can do
we added
3
on top
colored
of that is
chromatic
for a white
skins.
dragonborns, we added pearlescence effect.
Amazing.
I can't even pronounce it,
Beautiful.
but I love it.
Pearlescent.
It's really, really cool.
Oh, that's
Adds like
gorgeous.
this special sheen to you.
All right.
Makes you especially cool.
And can you switch genders?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see the other one.
Okay, cool. Can you zoom in?
Ooh.
They're so cool. I mean, I've been playing with Dragonborn the entire time. I was a Shadow Monk Dragonborn today. It was really, really cool. All right.
Something we
Yeah,
forgot
I
to
see a
mention,
mod
there is
that's
a
needed for
heterochromia
the
now.
female
so your eyes could
Dragonborn.
be a different color.
Give them a little bit
Another
of
word I can't pronounce.
stuff
Alright.
in their.
And well, for one subclass,
I know why they always make the
we
plastic
also
chest of
added like
lizards.
a special.
But they
kind
don't
of,
need
like,
memories.
touch for Dragonborns,
But
because
I
you
think
might,
they would if they were
wanna, like, you might
humanoid.
have a question like how
That's
the
my
draconic
opinion, at
bloodline
least.
sorcerer would look if you're a dragonborn, because normally
Yes,
you would
Paulies,
get
we
the
can
draconic
fusroda.
scales, but you're covered in scales. So what did we do? So for that,
Sorcerer.
so we added a special pattern that also changes color depending on your ancestry.
Oh, that's so cool.
So you can truly be like a dual-pronged
cool.
dragonborn, and then you can throw in a draconic bloodline pattern and like be, the prettiest member of your party.
It's absolutely amazing what character our team has done on this. They look fantastic.
Gorgeous.
Merits a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's really, really good.
That is amazing.
Thank you. All right, so our team outdid itself. Can't be trumped anymore unless systems team has something up their sleeves. Jumping to Nick. Nick,
thanks.
Maybe let's start with it. Why did we change character creation from what was in early access?
If you played early access and you're watching the stream now, you will recognize that the whole layout has changed. So one of the things we really wanted to do is to make sure that anybody who didn't play D&D before, didn't play Larian games before, they still had a good time, they still had a comfortable time. There is a lot of new information, and we tried to present it in steps, in bite-sized pieces that you can go through step by step, creating your character in a very clear manner.
Yep, okay, well, take us through it. What do we get?
Well, something I wanted to talk about are the classes. You mentioned that systems has a few things. Yeah, 46 things is the number of subclasses that we're shipping at release. And we try to make sure that for every class, no matter which class is your favorite class, at release there's going to be a new subclass for you to play, some new play style that you can enjoy. For example, if you really like paladins, one of the new oath for them is the Oath of Vengeance. So you don't have to be just the knight in shining armor anymore. You can be out for revenge.
All right. Well, maybe give us a small tour of the subclasses. Like for each class, just mention which subclasses are and just cycle through them. Because Team Animation has also done something very special when it comes to the character creation. So
Funky, I really do think that,
yes, the classes now introduce
we're
themselves.
talking humanoid.
Very nicely. We're trying to really get you into the fantasy of a class and communicate what the class is, even without the text on the screen. Just by looking at it, you understand what the druid is going to be about in nature, right?
Right. So which subclasses are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about the subclass that is not in character creation. It's going to come a little bit later, but it's a Gloomstalker Ranger. It's a sneaky, shooty type that I'm really enjoying playing.
Very funny.
So it's coming later because that's per the Dungeons and Dragons rules, so you don't get to pick everything at the beginning of the game.
Yes. So some classes get their subclass at level 2 or level 3.
Yeah, okay.
Funky. How long will you be a new character creator?
Really
long time.
Choose from.
Long
so
time,
if I'm playing the game and I make a mistake here,
yes.
Like what's going to happen? Like, do I need to restart the game or what?
So we wanted to avoid players having to restart the whole game because it's a very heavily narrative experience. And there's a character that you might meet, you will most likely meet, that will allow you to reset your class.
Okay.
And just reinvest all of the levels. This also allows you to really experiment with multiclassing, which is a new feature that we're also
multiclassing's
in multiclassing. There are a lot of really cool combinations. There are some combinations that don't quite work, and we want the players to really experiment with what is possible. And respec really helps with that.
Yeah, I can. I've been fooling around with it. I've been very bad at multiclassing, I have to say. I did some really crazy combinations for very stupid reasons, but I had a lot of fun with it. All right, so that is the classes. So once we've figured out what class we have, we jump then to backgrounds. Backgrounds that shape together with class and racial choices what dialogue options you're going to have. And you, Crystal, your team has been very active on introducing those.
They have. They've been very diligent on it. You spent your first 6 hours of the game making this beautiful, complex character. You've picked your class, you've picked everything down to the eyelashes, whatever you want, and then you put them in the game, and you want the world to react to your identity that you've put out there. You've expressed yourself. The game has to recognize that. So what we noticed was you could be an alien Githyanki sorcerer, a drow warlock, a dragonborn bard, and you're just wandering into the elf song, and you sit down, and no one has anything to say about that. That doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
So we went all the way through Act 1 to Act 3, and we made sure that we built in the reactivity to all the dialogues and in the moments where it would matter.
And it's not only reactivity, it's actually also full permutations of situations that was added to it. So somebody told me that when we calculate the word count and the line count that went into Act 1 into early access, and we compare it to today, your team has added over 1/3, 33% more lines in there. Is that correct?
I'm afraid that it is.
Is this because you talked to the finance team about
more
the budget for
dialogue, voice recording, and the cinematics and the motion that this has
comment.
Okay, well, good. But it is actually. I have to say, I played through. I've been playing a lot, but I mean, I've played through as a gift druid, and it was a completely different experience as if I was playing with my drow. So I was really impressed actually by how much has been added and how much deeper it feels now as a result as an experience. All right, so we've got one person left on the stage. We have something new, which is the origin characters. Nick, can you jump to the beginning of the tab, which we didn't talk about yet? Adam,
So here we go.
Explain.
Yeah, so you can create your custom character. You can also meet a lot of people on your adventure that you can recruit. So if you've played Early Access, I know you've met Astarion, I know you met Shadowheart, you now met Karlach. You can also play as these people. So when you meet Astarion, there are things about him that you don't know, that he keeps close to his chest. You usually find out what they are when he tries to bite you. And then you think, oh my God, how did I not see it? He's a vampire.
Dark Urge? What?
If you play as Astarion, you are the vampire. So you know from the very beginning of the game that you're a vampire. So you can bite people.
So if I'm Shadowheart,
if you're Shadowheart,
and I got
let's
this
pretend.
big secret.
Yeah.
Big secret.
Very,
that's not,
very
not on my armor at all.
Knows. No, it's not. It's hidden.
Because I mean, I've played all the way to Act 2 and she didn't tell me.
She didn't tell you her big secret.
She didn't trust
it's
me.
because she doesn't like you. But
I think she likes me. She
doesn't like you.
Doesn't like you.
We'll talk about that later.
I may have done things that would have caused her not to trust me, but anyway, let's not talk about that.
So if you were Shadowheart,
yes,
then you may not trust the people around you either. So you may not tell them your big secret.
I get that option?
You have the option. You can tell them. You can decide, I think it's time to tell them. And depending on how much they like you, they may react well, they may react badly.
So, okay, well, take that one step further. There's a particularly nasty vampire spawn that is present in my party.
That's Astarion, spoilers, but yeah.
Spoiler alert from now on. There's going to be a few spoilers. I'll try to tell you whenever there's going to be a spoiler, right? So, but in general, just cut the
assume
stream,
it is.
because there will be spoilers, all right?
Okay,
so,
there's going to be some spoilers coming up here, so big warning,
saying,
spoilers.
So, don't tell you weren't warned. All right.
So you're Shadowheart?
No.
Oh.
No, you're
You look like Shadowheart.
You are Shadowheart. You're Shadowheart.
I'm Shadowheart, yeah.
I'm Astarion.
Okay.
And so, well, hold on, wait, first, reverse roles. I was Shadowheart. You're not Astarion. Astarion is there. He's there, right? Astarion, in my playthrough, when he was recruited as a companion, tried to bite me.
Did he?
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. So, and I let him. It was a lot of fun. And I died. Anyway, so switch around now.
Yeah.
I'm Astarion.
Yeah.
You're Shadowheart.
Are you hungry?
Fuck yeah. I've been sitting in the suit this entire day. What do you expect?
But yes, you can. The things that Astarion does as a companion, you can do as Astarion.
So I can bite you.
You can not now. But the other thing is that Astarion knows things about his past that you have to get out of it. If he's a companion.
So funny.
He may open up to you. He may tell you these things. If you're him, you know them already, obviously.
That's gives you a completely different perspective.
It's a completely different perspective. You go through the world and you see different things. You have different lines of dialogue. People react to you differently. But also, sometimes when you go to sleep at night, you might remember things, or you might have haunting dreams or nightmares about your past.
I know why you said that.
I did say that for a reason.
We got a video.
Roll video.
Roll video.
The forest, dark, cold, foreboding.
Hello? Anyone there?
First, thou shalt not drink the blood of thinking creatures. Second, thou shalt obey me in all things.
Where are you? Show yourself!
Third, thou shalt not leave my side unless directed.
Your heart pounds, but you're ready. He's going to regret coming for you.
Fourth, thou shalt know that thou art mine. 3, lie to yourself, boy, but not to me. You are mine forever.
All right, so I think that is
Dun, dun.
really amazing. It's something
A bunch of
I'm
people in the
super proud of
comments.
writing
Yes,
for. I
Daddy.
managed to pull
Yes,
this off
Dad.
because you tell stories in first person. You tell stories in third person. Right? When you replay the game, you can have a completely different experience. We could have a multiplayer session where I'm Shadowheart, you're Astarion, you're going to be... Who would you be?
Lizzo.
Nice.
Obviously Dark Urge.
We haven't announced them yet.
Spoilers, everybody.
Way to go, Crystal. Way to go.
Good
All
job.
right.
They did because he was in the picture.
It was on the screen.
Speaking of Dark Urge, I guess we're going to show something on Dark Urge, right?
Yeah.
Because you just spoiled it. All right, let's cut to a video of Dark Urge, and then you can speak all you want about Dark Urge. Well, with limits. All right, let's go for that.
The Dark Urge is a fully customizable Origin avatar character. You can play as whatever species, class, build, appearance, gender that you would like to, and still have the character's origin story working on top of that. It's an avatar-only character, so it means it's just a character that you can play as, and you don't know what this character is. This character is someone who's waking up and the only feelings that they have are the bile of their liver, the gushing of their blood in their ruined body, telling them you're going to kill and kill again. The Dark Urge, in a lot of ways, is a dark counterpoint to the main storyline. Play with the concept of why are we always so compelled to do terrible things in video games in the first place?
For my first full playthrough at launch, I think I would probably play the Dark Urge. I'm a little bit scared to see what I would learn about myself, but I think that's part of the fun of it.
So the murder hobo.
It was a
we
Dark
get
Urge
to
move.
we get to
All right,
play the
so,
murder hobo.
Dark Urge.
Yo.
Tell me about him.
So the Dark Urge.
Oh, hold on.
We're gonna
do this.
Let's make one.
Let's make one.
Yeah.
All right, we got Nick on the screen. Chat, we're gonna start involving you. We're gonna create a character. We're gonna create your own Dark Urge. So we're gonna start up a vote, I guess. Community team, we got a vote. They're gonna pick race and class.
Race and class.
Race and class. Nick is gonna add in a little bit of touches. Lena's gonna make sure that they look good. And then we're gonna see what's gonna happen to the Dark Urge. We're gonna go slice of gameplay. In the meantime, we're gonna talk about Karlach and then about Dark Urge. We haven't talked about Karlach.
We haven't talked about Karlach. We need to talk about Karlach.
We did. Let him first do his thing, Dark Urge. Okay, so let's talk about Karlach. You're going to talk about Karlach.
Yeah, you talk about Karlach.
Yeah. You don't know how to talk about Dark Urge.
Yeah.
All right.
So Karlach is brilliant. I love Karlach. She's born and raised in Baldur's Gate, and she got sold into slavery in the Hells. And she manages to break free, and then she's really angry about all that, and she wants to live, and she has an infernal engine for a heart, and it's getting hotter ever since she's left the Hells, so that might be a problem. And yeah, she wants to live the life that was taken from us.
We're going to call you Spoiler Crystal here. That was okay as in terms of spoilers go. So she's rapidly grown one of the favorite companions of our playtesters. I mean, is she a good character?
I think she's brilliant. Yeah, she's good. She's fundamentally, she wants to be in the world to make a good impact on it.
All right, okay. So she's a barbarian.
Yeah.
All right, so she rages a lot. She actually has a special rage, her own very special rage that she actually... what is it, infernal rage, Nick? Tell us about that.
She goes all up in flames, actually.
She goes all up in flames.
She has a special effects for this.
Yeah. Right. So does that mean that if I have my wizard that's casting grease and I put Karlach in there, she's just going to go boom?
Let's find out.
Yeah. Okay, so Karlach curses a lot. Is it like really a lot? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And well, maybe we'll see some gameplay with Karlach later on. Switching to Dark Urge. So Karlach is an origin character, right? You can play as Karlach. You can recruit her as a companion. So in addition to, because who are our other good characters? We got Halsin, who's now also recruitable as a companion. You can't play him, but you can recruit him. You got Minsk, right? You got Jaheira.
Yeah.
Also, these are Jaheira's, although is a little bit more neutral, I would imagine. She's got her entire Harper background and so forth. So that basically tilts the balance in favor of the good characters. Do we have any extra evil characters?
I got you covered.
companions.
Yeah, so we Minthara, who many people have met in Act 1. Many people have killed her in Act 1, thank you very much. Some people have done other things with her in Act 1.
You're the writer of Minthara, right?
Well,
That's her character.
it's a team, but I like her. But there's a few things you can do in Minthara in Act 1. Most people choose the killing option. If you don't choose that, then you have to kill a whole lot of other people because she's not a very nice person. If you do that, then we decided that you deserve a reward. And in Act 2, you will be able to find Minthara and recruit her into the party.
And that's actually going to put you on a different permutation than the permutation you may have been on.
Very different.
Yeah,
very
indeed,
different.
Yeah. I love that moment. I think it's really, really cool. I really like the question that she asks also.
Yeah. We won't say that now.
We will not talk about the question. All right, so Minthara, Halsin, Karlach, Jaheira, Minsk. These are all characters that were not in early access. Dark Urge, obviously. So these are all characters that players haven't had the chance to experience yet. And then we have the avatar point of view from all of the other companion characters, going from Lysel, Shadowheart, Will. We didn't talk about Will.
No.
Tell me about Will.
We've redone Will. Pretty much every line of dialogue's been rewritten. We changed his story a lot. We realized with Will that he had this incredibly compelling story. We weren't telling it as well as we could have done. So we did it again, because that's what we do.
Indeed what we do.
He goes in different directions much earlier in the game. Traditionally, with RPGs, people will tell you, oh, this character can go down 2 different paths. They do it as late as possible, because then there's less permutation. We did it at the beginning.
Oh, my God.
Will's a very complicated man.
He's got a really complicated story in terms of development. Yeah, for the player, it's very obvious. But the results of his choices are insane.
Yeah, from the very beginning. So he has a pre-existing relationship with one of our origin characters, and he has a pre-existing relationship with the city of Baldur's Gate.
We can say what his relationship
well,
is.
Well, he wants to kill Karlach at the beginning of the game. So we made 2 origin characters who one is trying to kill the other one. Yeah. So if you follow Will's original origin quest, you cut Karlach's head off.
This is true.
Yeah. It's very sad.
It's a great scene also, actually. Yeah. Well, I mean, with due apologies to the Karlach developers.
But you can also not do that with Will in the party, and then he goes down a very, very different route. He has his reasons for what he's doing. Karlach has their reasons for wanting to survive. They can become very good friends.
I can imagine.
Yeah. It's true, yeah, most people do. And then there's the Dark Urge.
Yes.
So the Dark Urge, when you start playing straight away, you see this is a different character. This has narrator is talking to you and telling you these things that are going on in your head. You feel like a custom character because you created yourself. But very early on, just some of your gameplay interactions give you scenes that you've not seen before. So don't skip through things as Dark Urge. And then you have an entire storyline that starts to bubble up, and it's very great. It's great.
All right. So when you say Urge, I can imagine a lot of things.
Yeah.
When you say Dark Urge, I can imagine even more things. So this particular character has an urge that is making them do things, but they can also resist it, right?
They can resist it. So we all sometimes have dark thoughts. We all sometimes have impulses that we think, oh God, I shouldn't, and maybe I should. And as a Dark Urge, you can or you can't. But sometimes it's going to be very difficult to resist. Yeah. Sometimes you're going to say, this is really good fun. I'm going to lean into this. So I saw chat saying the murder hobo. It's not quite that simple.
Murder hobo.
You can play a murder hobo.
They heard me.
Styrian can be a murder hobo. Shadowheart can. The Dark Urge is compelled. There are things inside the Dark Urge that are telling them do bad things. Yeah. It goes to places that I think we did a great job. I mean, I agree. Yeah, it runs through the entire story.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's rapidly grown to be a favorite character of all people.
And importantly, it can be a villainous character like anybody else in the game. Any of these people can be villains, they can become heroes. The Dark Urge can as well.
Yeah, but with quite an interesting twist behind him. All right, Nick, are you kidding me?
The chat has spoken.
It's a white dragonborn and it's a monk.
And it's a monk. And it's all the new stuff.
Yes. All the new stuff.
Makes a lot of sense.
Chat, you're predictable, but we love you.
Thank you, chat.
All right. Okay, right. You're going to show us a small slice of Dark Urge because we don't want to spoil it for players.
Tiny.
Right? So really small, but this is at the beginning of the game, so it is a spoiler, but it's so at the beginning of the game that I think it's not that much of a spoiler. All right, go ahead.
Indeed. So I'm exploring the crash site. You've probably seen it in early access. And as Dark Urge, I've already recruited Shadowheart, and I've come across some goblin corpses. So of course I'm going to loot them. So let's loot them. Some stuff. I take it.
You drink in the pungent corpse. Since you awoke on the ship, your mind has been cold and empty, but something stirs. With your hands close to this body, you know nothing of why, but find a half smile flittering across your face.
Let the grin fall across your face, or push the smile away. Are we fighting it, Sven?
We are not fighting it.
Never.
Look, I'm a lizard, right? So I can't even stop smiling. It's just...
This feels like home. There's something unknown and unspeakable deep within your heart.
All right.
All right.
All right, spooky.
Having some dark urges here.
Spooky.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. And here's another little thing that is a bit different from early access. This little portal. Why don't we click on it?
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
Oh, dangerous. Yeah, I'm definitely touching it. Well.
Oh.
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 Anyone?
It's Gale. Oh my goodness.
So that's
Larian.
different already from what we had in early access, right? This is the recruitment scene of Gale. He used to jump out. Now suddenly we see a hand pop out.
Indeed. So we have a few things we could do.
Slap the hand.
Or slap the hand away.
Oh my god.
But the unique thing for Dark Urge is to fantasize about hacking off the hand.
You're only thinking about it.
Hold
right
on, give me
Nick?
2 seconds. I'm just checking what chat is doing. I can
Oh,
see what you're doing.
chat. I
Chat.
see a lot
I've
of
never
wands,
seen
chat.
so many wands in my life.
I am not disappointed
Oh
in
my
chat.
goodness.
No.
No, you
so I
vile,
wanna slap
crazy
it.
people. What is wrong with
what
you?
Chat can just thinking about it do, right?
Just thinking about it.
This branch of flesh is begging to be pruned, and its sap sucked from.
My mistress' eyelids, stop! Cease, you loon!
As soon as the dreams cross the threshold of your imagination, you snap back to realize they have all come true.
Oh no!
Oops.
You were supposed to lend a hand, not take one.
You were dazed on the Nautilord, but now you are truly awake. Alive.
Oh no!
So, it's going to be a very lonely journey.
I like his hands-on approach, but
Hands-on approach.
been sitting on this one.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a game where you can just kill your companions like that, and then you can just continue
Apparently,
joining
wow.
your heads. And so
There's more companions.
there's more companions.
Oh, there's always
What
more
if all the
companions.
companions die, Nick? What do I do then?
You can hire hirelings.
Aha.
If you run out, there's 12 more hirelings for your Dark Urges.
You can really fill that camp with corpses.
So that means you get one for every class, subclass, and then you can...
Hirelings are just custom characters of each of the classes. In case you want to fill out your party, or you want a party of all barbarians, let's say, you can go for that.
All right, excellent.
Oh
and then you can respec them also, I guess.
Indeed, you can respect them as well.
All right, excellent. I think you want to show us one last thing of Dark Urge, and then we'll just
Can
move
you
on.
just check your inventory, Nick?
Check my inventory.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it.
There
Yes.
you go.
Yeah,
Trophy.
of course.
So what is this? To better go to sleep at night?
Well, to put under your cheek, I guess.
A memento of Gale.
I think I need to lay down, okay?
All right. Before you go to sleep, I would like you to show a little bit of camp clothes if you can.
Yes, so you will see that when you go to camp, now you're wearing something more comfortable than your metal armor. As you can see on Sven, it's not incredibly comfortable to
It's
sleep
new
on.
armor.
It is a new armor.
Look at me.
It's,
All right. It's a new armor.
That's some mobility there.
Summer armor.
Good job,
Very
Sven.
new, very loud.
Yeah. All right, anyway, sorry.
Anyway, nobody can sleep in that. So you can sleep on something more comfortable, like these pants. Dragonborn would like to go shirtless, I suppose. These items are just clothing that you can equip. You can find more in the world. You can apply dyes to them as well. So you can customize how you look in camp. And if you really want to, you can also keep wearing it outside of camp as well.
Much fashion.
With this little switch right here.
Oh.
Cool. So everybody has camp clothes you can buy. You can go and shop.
Yes, you can go shop, you can buy them. All of the origins have a unique pair as well, which was a lot of work for the character team, I'm sure.
Yes, it was. Do you have my the thing I asked you, or do you not have it? My little cloak. My cloak.
Oh no, I don't have a cloak.
That's okay. That's all right. Never mind.
We'll show
All right. I like that cloak. Anyway.
Yeah, cloaks are a thing, by the way. Cloaks were not there in early access.
Oh, yes, true.
We're gonna have cloaks.
But we don't have one right now.
We'll show it.
All right. And,
find a place.
And you can recolor all of it, but with dye.
You can apply colors to clips.
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. If we get there, we'll see how this stream goes. Make sure that we remember to put on some face paint also, because I really enjoy face painting. It's really.
We'll see.
Okay. So that's clothes. Let's go sleep.
Let's go sleep. I just do a partial rest.
As you writhe with sickly dreams, a deep dread floods you. Though you have a tadpole, you know your broken mind is not like the others who bear the worm. A few scraps of the past come back to you now and then, and you can never quite tell where the knowledge comes from. Inexplicable, violent yearnings overwhelm all other thoughts. Who could you possibly be to be their vessel?
All right.
Mysterious.
Think upon your heritage. Is there truth hidden there?
The ancestral knowledge of your dragon clan is diluted amid the liquid hate in your blood. It must have been a very long time among your kind. When you try to think of a home, your mind twists itself back to indulge in the delights of the day. You recall waking up, hearing the pounding war drum of blood. How much you treasured the sight of the first corpse you took, the waggling stump you left of that wizard's arm.
Do we swear to resist? Or do we lean in?
No.
Lean in.
Lean deeper.
We'll let the players will resist anyway. We're going.
Imagining a broken, twisted neck, and a thrill thinking of a intestine. As these images flood your mind, you fall soundly asleep like a babe in arms. Blood, 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 blood.
Don't you dare do anything to Shadowheart!
I think there's a
Don't you dare do anything to Shadowheart!
Dark Urge. Let's give Nick a hand. Thank you very much, Nick. Dark Urge. Dark side of Baldur's Gate 3. There's many dark sides on it. Not for the meek of heart, just warning you. It goes very brutal. It can go very, very, very brutal when you play Dark Urge, but it's just the game living up to the choice and consequences of your choices. You can always resist, so whenever you go somewhere, it was your choice to go there. Let's jump to a lighter topic. We get a lot of questions about romance, relationships. How can you, what relationships can you evolve with your party members? The answer to that is quite a lot. We have a very broad spectrum of relationships, and we're going to talk a little bit about that right now. We got a video lined up for you, and then we'll have a little chat.
How do romances work in real life? You don't just do someone's quest and say some nice things and then get a sex scene. When we've been developing romance scenes in Baldur's Gate, we've been trying to show two people genuinely struggling through a hard time and supporting one another. And you're not going to be the same person as you are in Act 1 as you are in Act 3. neither is your partner. Your relationship is going to have to grow along with the game's story.
The relationships that you can have with party members in this game, it's a little bit like the relationships you have in your actual life. If you are going to be an asshole to them, then you can expect them to react to that kind of assholery that you've inflicted on them. If you're going to be good to them, then you have the opportunity to bond with them.
They can open up and share their stories. You can get closer, start relationships with some of them as well.
It can go the other way, so it's perfectly possible that you'll do something and one of your companions will say, no, I'm not going to adventure with you anymore. Or even, this is the point where I think it's necessary to just kill you, and then they will try to do that.
Sometimes it's actually better also to have an argument and challenge your partner about their way of thinking. Because if you just go along with what they want to do, you might end up getting sacrificed in an evil god's sex rite, you might end up getting turned into a vampire, or worst of all, you might even end up getting married. So watch out. Be yourself and don't treat the romance like it's just a quest.
Companion characters have the potential to grow and develop in interesting ways. And indeed, the thing that makes them, that often kind of incites that within them or can kind of nudge them along the journey or block them on that journey is you, the player. And it is very much you who is influencing how they develop and who they become.
My party members, they're not just following me blindly because I'm the person who's playing this game. They're following me by choice, and sometimes those choices result in them not fully trusting me. And I think that is such a satisfying experience.
Different quests are going to matter to different members of your party. So if you take a particular combination of companions versus on one playthrough versus a different combination on another playthrough, you're going to find that the party is interested in different quests, and then you're going to find yourself being pulled towards the different areas and different quests that matter to them. And I think in that sense, you're going to get a very different overall experience.
All right, so that was a little bit about romance. So let's talk a little bit about, because there was a lot of work that went into this and making this possible and catering to the broad spectrum of choices. Can you tell me what the typical day in the life of a romance writer is?
Oh, it's incredibly sexy. So people say, write what you know. We couldn't, because we went to places that we can't go to in real life. So some of the places you can go to. So in Shadowheart, in early access even, you can start to romance Shadowheart. She'll get tipsy with you, she'll get drunk, she starts to open up to you. That's often how my romances start. If you're Styrian, then your romance might start by biting somebody and sucking their blood, and they may forgive you and they may say a little bit more. And that's how your romance starts. With other characters, it's different. So we wanted to give people emotional and physical breadth.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to have a little romance moment in the game.
Karlach, yeah.
We are having a problem, however, with the game. Apparently, our frame rate is not showing. We're running at 60 FPS over here stream, so I can show you with my mobile phone and I'll post a video. But apparently, it's not coming through. So do we have a solution for that already? All right, we'll just keep on chatting about romance until we have it, because nobody wants romance at 20 FPS.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
We do not want romance at 20 FPS. Well, oh no, I'm not. Let's not go there.
But yeah, so I think what we're looking at is a game in which the romance progresses, and in unexpected ways sometimes as well. Sometimes you get what you expect. It's often sex, and sometimes you get something very, very different. Yep. Some of these are very surprising. It's also important to say that the companion characters, most of them don't just have one path through the romance. They have different versions of the romance. They can break off a romance. Some of them will happily share romantic partners and have polyamory. Some of them won't. Some of them have very different endings to their romance depending on what happened to them during the game and how you treated them and what you did with them. So it's incredibly complex. It's not just one per character.
I know I've seen the dialogue trees that were behind it, so there's actually quite a lot of choice and consequence.
Yeah, that's a lot of trees to write.
Is it all dependent then of like Shadowheart approves, Lysel disapproves?
It's not all dependent on that. Some of it is. So like if people don't approve of you and they don't like you very much, then no matter what you do, it's not going to work out too well. Okay. So that matters. The way you behave in the world matters. As Bo said, Bo is one of our designers, writers in the video. It's not do my quest for me and then I will have a romance with you. It's more complex than that. So if they approve of the things that you're doing, they'll start to trust you more and more. And then if you decide to pursue a romance with them, it might work out. And sometimes they'll pursue the romance with you. Sometimes they initiate it.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. I can see people working on the computers, so we're just going to give them a little bit more time so we can actually stream properly again. Crystal, you've worked on a lot of permutations in the game. You specifically have spent the last, 6 months of your life on the ending?
Pretty much, yep.
Something like that, right? So you, in the ending, in the permutations that you're catering for, how is romance accounted for? Is that something that you look at, or?
Yeah, it's something you have to look at, because if you didn't, it would feel really weird, right? If you have this really deep bond with a companion character and you get to this point where you have to make a key decision about how you want your story to end, what they think is going to matter to you. So those moments have to be factored in, and it means that in one of our final dialogues, we have
yes, Bean is going to love
lines,
this,
and you will see 30 seconds to 2 minutes of that, and get a sense of what.
And that dark path, I think, is for like a specific character.
Yeah, the dark path is specifically for a dark path playthrough. Which you can fight, and I'll probably roll that to begin with to try and fight the urges all the way through.
Because they'll see their story, the one that they played that was true to the choices that they made all the way through, and if they really enjoyed it, they'll replay it, and then they'll try different things, and I think that'll be great.
All right, well, yeah, that's very true. So, one last question on this. I think the tech problems are solved. Is that correct? Are our tech? All right, they think so, so we'll find out. I can be good. I can be evil. Can I be evil in romance? Even if
Oh, yes.
Adam can.
All right.
Come on.
But that's going to be very different, because I'll have companions that'll leave me when I'm evil.
Well, maybe, yeah. Sometimes you can convince them to stay. You'll be surprised what you can get away with. It's
all at the roll of a dice, right?
Sometimes it's the roll of a dice, yeah. Romance sometimes is as well. The things that you can get away with and you can persuade people to do is pretty incredible. You have characters in this game that when you first meet them, you think, well, they're very sweet and nice, and there's no way in hell they'll follow me into the darkness. And if you play your cards right, they will follow you into the darkness, and then they will do terrible things in the darkness.
All right, okay, good. We've got the frame rate problem solved, I hope. So let's jump to the game. Crystal, you're going to give us a small stroll. Where are we? In the lower city?
Yep.
All right, and so we're going to have Karlach is currently your partner. And so you're going to have a little stroll down the streets and go find some of your friends over there, or at least Karlach's friends.
Yeah, so we've just entered basically at the beginning of the lower city. I see a little small person over there selling newspapers. Let's go check him out.
Something's on my mind. Hello? Does anyone want to buy a Gazette?
Not the best one, but I'll take a...
Thank you.
All right.
Precious.
I'm hearing that we still have the FPS problem.
Little bit.
All right. We're going to hold on to it. We'll hold on to it, and we'll do it maybe later. We're going to jump to a backup solution, which is going to be romance of a completely different degree than what we planned on showing right now. We can go to tech. Yeah, let's go to tech.
I think it's probably a YouTube problem, honestly. YouTube has so many problems doing gameplay showcases.
It really does. Like, even when we were waiting during the pre-show, it kept doing that little thinking circle a couple of times, and I didn't touch anything. It's all at 1080p, and it was all caught up to whatever the live stream was at. So, But yeah, so far so good. Lots of different options, and holy crap, they really put a lot of content, a lot of work into this. Holy crap.
Yeah, they've added so much. The fact that they've added 33% more to Act 1, and they've rewritten some of the stories completely.
Yeah.
especially Will's. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think Will's story was bad. I was really interested in it. I was fairly invested in it. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen going forward.
Yeah, right. Do, do, do. Sungler in the chat says, I hope they didn't remove the sexy demon from Will's story. Yeah. Keep all the sexiness. Ah, them sandwiches.
Somebody's like, I don't care, just give me nude Shadowheart, I beg you. It's like, first of all, thirsty. Second of all, have you not heard of mods? Because it's already a thing.
Right.
That is already a thing.
Already. Na, 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 na. Do-do-do. So, honey, what kind of character you think you're gonna make first? You mentioned you wanted to try the dark path.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the Dark Urge path to see if I can to see what happens if I resist it all the way through, or use it in certain targeted scenarios. But yeah, that's an interesting concept. So yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Well, I know for sure that whatever I play through, it's definitely gonna have speak with animals. This is like, in real life, I would if I could. Do 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 do. Let's see. Hello, Rodney Harwood. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. You don't like Baldur's Gate, I guess? He's saying, I guess they want to go down like Ubisoft did after AC Gahala? I don't know.
AC, I don't get. You'll need to elaborate on that. I don't know.
I don't get that reference. Assassin's Creed something? Something
Assassin's
about go
Creed.
woke, go
Oh
woke.
yeah. Okay, so I don't think they're going woke here,
No,
because
they're
if
just
they were
giving
going
options.
woke, so here's my point on going woke. So going woke is not a good thing. It is often surrounded by censorship of normal things, right? We see this with character design. A lot of character design in new, air quote, woke games. The characters are ugly, like really ugly. And that's the first, the first alert, the first red flag. We don't have that here.
No, they're gorgeous.
We have bodies. Like, you could say, oh, well, they're giving you blue hair dye. Well, no, they're giving you all of the hair dye. And they're giving you the chance to hair dye whatever you want. So that's not woke in that sense. And then you say, well, what about the gender stuff? Well, it's based in a world with magic. And in the world with magic, you can literally do that. There's literally spells and potions to
Magic Wand
change
universe.
to alter your body. So in that, I think that's actually a good thing to notice, because it highlights the difference between fantasy and reality. And there's a lot of people who don't focus on reality, and that's a huge problem, because there is a lot of lies going around, and the lies going around are there and benefiting in most cases, corporations. In most cases, giant corporations that are making money off of this. And I'm not talking about like Bud Light, they haven't been making money off this. But the people that are making money off of this are hospitals and pharmaceutical companies. And they've almost always been the bad guy, at least for me. Like, big pharma and big chemical companies have been doing things that have been causing real harm to people for a long time. This is not new. This is normal. We encounter this on an almost daily basis. Like, look at this mosquito thing that happened in the States recently. They released malaria-ridden mosquitoes into the environment, hoping that it would kill the potential of there being some theoretical spread of disease in the States. And what happened? Oh, now a bunch of people are contracting malaria in the States. Like, the stupidity and greed of these companies, and not having the sense to like go, hold on now, has this ever backfired before? And it's like, yes, like every time it's tried. Oh, okay, then let's not do it, right? There's that sense that scientists are going to kill us all by going, there's a button, 90% chance it'll destroy the planet, 10% chance it'll make something else cool happen. Well, let's press the button because I really want to see what the cool thing might happen. And really, I mean, what's the chance of the world blowing up? It's 90%! Oh, well, I still want to press the button. It's that level of stupidity. And you could say that if you go back to the stories of, that have been ingrained in human culture, what's one of the first stories that we have? It's like, there's a thing, don't do that thing. Went ahead and did the thing, caused untold mass suffering. It's like that is a core part of the human existence as far as like stories and writing goes. So it's normal. It's in our nature to do that, which is in some cases very bad, and in other cases it's a good thing when we're pushing those boundaries. But no, I don't think there's a wokeness thing going on here with any of the choices that they've shown so far, because they all fit within the world of like Magic, and that's not the same. You can't say that for some of these other games that have come out that have done the same, that have gone down these kinds of rabbit insanity holes, and those games have failed. Those games have, in many cases, bombed because it didn't fit. But I think they do fit here because, again, it's a world filled with magic. And that kind of stuff makes sense.
We are close to a backup solution for our streaming problem, for which we apologize. Obviously, not what we wanted.
They really want to nail this,
while
like
we
show
are
60
waiting for
FPS
the
kind
tech
of
guys to sort everything out, we decided we can do a live AMA. So ask us questions, and we'll answer your questions until they have figured it out. So that gives you like 5 minutes of exclusive access to us in terms of ask us anything.
Anything.
Wow.
Anything.
I like their emphasis on anything.
And how many voices in total in the game? I assume that there's a question about player voices, so there's 8 in total. If it's a question about how much voice lines we have in the game, it's somebody's going to have to watch that chat, and now it's going way too fast. We're going to have...
yes, no.
100...
yes, no, yes.
190,000 lines recorded.
No, it's a lot. Yeah,
something like that.
I have the numbers in my head at some point.
It must be a lot.
Killed our producer, so I don't know anymore.
Beginning of stream. It's worth putting that in context, actually, also, because we saw once we announced that we had like, 2.5 times full episodes of Game of Thrones in terms of content combined.
Right.
Everybody assumed that you're just going to be watching like hours and hours of cinematics, but that's not true. It's just because there's so much choice and consequence and permutations in the game. It's very hard to transmit that on a stream like this. You'll find out for yourselves when you're going to be playing the game. But there's really a lot of possible stories to be had in Baldur's Gate 3. All right, what else do we have there? I can't see, they're going too fast. I can't read them, so if they don't... All right. Will we?
Can we, will we?
Okay,
Give me. Lots of that.
Does anyone here have a question?
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, how about live audience?
Yeah.
All right, you get a mic.
Sorry, chat. There's too many of you, and you're too fast.
I'm sorry in advance because it's a terrible question, but it's a question you will have a lot of things to say about, so maybe it will help for the technical problem. Everything is political, even if gamers don't like that. And so with almost 200 hours of cinematic, you have written a lot of stories. And I was wondering, in the end, when you take a step back and look at every story you told in your game, what are the principal themes, the morals? What is the story you wanted to tell to people? What is the final message we have to take away from the game?
All right.
Oh, that's a good one.
You want me to do it?
I can do it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, first of all, I don't think it's a story we're telling to you. It's a story we're telling with you. That's really how we think of it. There's so many stories in this game. Some of them are incredibly dark, some of them are incredibly light, as I've already said. Some of them are funny, some of them are sad. Thematically, one of our cores is trust. You're thinking about who you can trust, why you can trust them, and why the world should trust you sometimes as well. And you can be somebody who is incredibly distrustful, and you can go fully down that path. You can be the most noble, virtuous person in the world. We let you do any of those things. But it is a collaborative story. You start playing the game, you're telling a story. We have our stories, you are going to interpret them, you're going to make your own versions of them. Our message, I mean, for me, it's have fun.
I agree, and there's two axes of team. This is what Adam just said, trust. That's about the party, gathering your fellows. Will they trust you, won't they trust you? But there's also a vertical axis, which is the one that propels you forward. Got the monster that is growing inside of me. What am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with the fact that this monster is certainly starting to give me powers? Am I going to embrace them? Am I going to resist them? How far will I go with this? This game is going to go very, very far in offering you powers, and it will be up to you what you do with it. By the time you are in Baldur's Gate at the end of the game, you're going to be exploring the city. You will arrive there as somebody who used to be a wretch destined to become a monster, and now you are the last hope of the city. But you could be the last hope in a bad way or in a good way. You could say, this city is mine for the taking, or this is the city I'm going to save, and I'm ready to sacrifice everything for it. And so those two things you will find back in every single thing, going from the origin stories. Each origin story is about, what do I do? Do I resist the evil inside of me, or am I going to embrace it? And it's also about, like, things have happened to me in the past that caused me to distrust people. How am I going to deal with it? Will I trust somebody again? And then the player can obviously be the one that betrays it or goes for it. And like this, you get a lot of storytelling that's coming forth from it. So that's basically the core of BG3 and what we've always relied on as we were developing these hundreds of stories, thousands of stories, really. Yeah. Did that answer it? All right, go ahead. There's more questions in the audience. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for this fantastic panel. Before the questions, I'd just like to give a huge shout out to Twitch chat. We've got you on our phones and we're trying to answer as many questions as we can for you. My name's Josh. I'm a massive fan of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
It's Josh Dryface.
Since I was a kid, I've played the games my entire life, and the name is legendary. The stories are mythical, and Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are some of the most respected RPGs of all time. Why do you think Baldur's Gate 3 is a worthy successor to this title?
Okay, I have many reasons. So we can just break them down one by one. So obviously times have moved on. We are 2023. I think the first Baldur's Gate.
Is that his girlfriend beside him?
So back in the days, Baldur's Gate 1 embodied everything that Dungeons & Dragons was. It was the first game that really allowed you to play D&D in a video game. It had multiplayer, which was very advanced for its time already. It had a party that you were growing, definitely in Baldur's Gate 2. That was really a really big innovative step back in the days. We've done the same thing, but with 5th edition. We've taken all of the concepts that were pioneered there to a much further extent. The relationship building that you're going to be doing inside of the game, the party that you're going to gather, that has, you will find out when you're going to play, that has a lots and lots more than what was possible back in the days, both in the fact that it's being told to you in a cinematic way, but not in just a linear cinematic way, but actually in a fully dynamic cinematic way that depends and reacts to all of the choices that you've made, all of the decisions that you've been making. And so that is, for me, was one of the core things that we wanted to put in a game that was about gather your party, which is what the catchphrase was of the original Baldur's Gate. The second thing is this game follows the structure of the original game. You start your adventure elsewhere. There's a big, strong call to action, and that takes you to the city. So we are basically following that same journey. You're going to have a strong call to action, which in this case is, I'm about to become a monster, and if I embrace that becoming a monster, I'm going to be a very powerful monster. I was, back in the days, you were a Baal spawn, and that was the same thing. I have this Lord of Murder that is guiding me, so I need to deal with that. What am I going to do with this? You could turn into the Slayer or not, and these were things that you were going to be interacting with. So there is that aspect. Back in the days, Baldur's Gate 1 was at the peak of what was possible visually. It was a beautiful world. It had a lot of adventure, lots of exploration to be had. You've been trying it out today. I don't know what your thoughts were, but BG3 offers you the same things. It gives you plenty of adventure. It gives you plenty of opportunities, but it does more. What was not possible in the days were all of the systemic interactions that we put in there. In that sense, it goes further than what you had, and it should, because it has to innovate. BG1 was an incredible, innovative game. BG2 was an even more innovative game. I think BG3 is at the peak of what's possible in traditional and actual modern RPGs also. It brings you a game that marries systemics in which you're really, really free. It marries everything that's about exploration, adventuring, everything that's been done in the genre, it's all present in there. It marries storytelling in a narrative manner that reacts to the system, to the choices that it makes. It's a game that respects your identity in ways you cannot even imagine when you start playing, that you realize as you're going through it. And you can do it on your own or with a friend and multiplayer. And so all those things together, I think, puts BG3 at the forefront of RPGs, just like its predecessor back in the days. So, and maybe, and most importantly, when it comes to BG3, I think it's a game that is incredible, a lot of fun, just like the original games were. And it's going to give you a lot of replay value, and you're going to keep on replaying, you're going to keep on finding new things, and those things they're very hard to find in this type of game. And so those, for me, make it a worthy successor. So in the, it modernizes Dungeons and Dragons in a video game, puts it back at the forefront of where it belongs to be, allows you to play it in any way you want, be anybody that you want, and then actually get rewarded by true AAA cinematic storytelling at a scale that I don't think has actually been done. And you can do it with your friends. You can be watching in split screen 2 cinematics at the same time with different choices, deal with the consequences of what your friends have been doing. It's just really, really cool. Anyway, that was... Thank you.
Good answer.
All right.
There's a lot there, but yeah, he was right on
that. Guys are still busy, so we continue our representation of Twitch now in the audience. Go ahead.
With all this in mind, how hard is going to be to pick your party members, your companions? You have been saying how many choices we have. Do we have to stick with them? Can we swap them on the go? Do we get punished for swapping them on the go? What about the ones that come later in the game? Mm-hmm. So if you can...
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll let you do it. I just talked a lot.
Yeah, so they can come with you, so is the short answer. We're not going to lock them out at a certain point. We're not going to say, hey, you've reached the city, you need to leave these people behind. They come with you, they stay at your camp. You can pull them out of camp and take them to do things in the city or elsewhere. You can put them back into camp. They won't always stay, but if they leave, it's because of something you did. It's because you annoyed them, you killed them, you were going away, you were not listening to them, you weren't doing the things they wanted you to do. So there are points where they'll leave, but they're narrative reasons that they leave. There's not a cutoff point for them. So some of them will be very insistent about the things they need to do in the world. It's based on their personality. Some of them are much more open. Some of them, they want to get to Baldur's Gate anyway, so that's where you're going, so they're going to come with you. There are some that, only 2 actually, that don't end up in the same party. Modders will make them in the same party very quickly. And that's for narrative reasons as well. But otherwise, yeah, the ones you find later in the game, they join your camp. You can swap them in, you can swap them out.
All right, okay. Good. How are we doing? I see games that have booted up. Does that mean that our tech problems are solved?
Okay. 59, I think is.
No, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. All right, it's time for some more questions then.
Yes, chat.
Okay,
you know.
Me or chat? Okay, so you talked a lot about character customization and how much you care about, like, the story that the player wants to tell being told, or like telling their story, allowing them to experience that, and especially about respecting the player's identity that they choose for themselves in the game. And I just wanted to ask what your favorite part about that is, because like we had the wonderful opportunity to test it a bit as well, and you implemented so many different things, and I'm just curious which your favorite part is.
It's a really simple answer. It's always the latest one that's implemented. So right now I love being a Dragonborn. I mean, I really dig being a Dragonborn. I haven't done a full playthrough as an orc yet, so I think I'm going to dig that too. So it's really my systemic developer's heart starts ticking, and the entire team knows that because I get very excited about it, is whenever I get reactivity to having made a choice at character creation, and whenever I get reactivity, whenever I get to a choice that I didn't expect the game to react to. And so when I was walking around as a gift druid, I was super excited because I had so much stuff. Like I called them out, I said like, guys, this is so fantastic. Like I didn't know you went this far. So that is really the bit, the reactivity that you get to your class and to your, where you come from. Those are the things that are probably my favorite bits at this point. Go ahead.
So you've shown us a lot of very horrible things today and in the past day. And because we're all bad people, we laugh at that. But we know from gaming that surprisingly, people are good at heart, mostly. Like from Mass Effect, they all play Paragon. So what are you doing to actually make not just the dark urge, but also the player feel the temptation to give in to evil and be as horrible as you people currently are?
We are giving you, we're tempting you. There's a lot of temptation. It's probably another team in the game. Would be temptation. There's a lot of temptation. You get all these superpowers if you're going to start embracing what the illithid inside of you is. And you can go very far in this, right? So you can go really, really far in that. So if you embrace it, it comes at a price. Price can be horrible. Price probably means that you don't have any friends. Price could be even mean. Well, I'm not gonna reveal this just yet. So it's temptation. It's literally, but that's what power is. Power corrupts. Why? Because it's so tempting, right? And then once you have it, you never want to give it up again. And because you don't want to give it up again, that's where the corruption begins, because there's things that might nag at it. And so that is present in here also. So the lure of power is the thing that's going to drag you into the evil side, or not. I mean, and it's not because you resist these things that you're not going to get power, but you're going to get it in a different way. You're going to get friends. You're going to end up with an entire army of allies that's going to be helping you when you're going to have to deal with the final evils. And that's going to be a different experience than if you walk there all alone, very powerful, but with no friends left, because you killed them all. Or you manipulated them, or you did other things to them. So it's really up to you. I think we're sorted out, Crystal. I think you can give it another go. I think we have frame rate back. Thank you, tech team.
All right, so we are back in the lower city with a group of friends. And we're going to take a little walk around. One of our friends is Karlach, who we're quite close to in this version. We bought a newspaper before, so let's have a read of that.
Hello? Does anyone want to buy a gazette? Thank you.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about the newspapers, Ben?
I will, yes, for sure. I like how you asked that. We've got a newspaper system in this city. It's going to react to your actions. It's going to talk about the stuff that you've been doing. What I really like about the newspaper is that you can manipulate it. So you can start, you can basically break into the printing house and you can start swapping stories around. There'll be this big surprise when you do that. And the game is going to react to that. The stuff that goes into the newspaper affects what the citizens of the city are going to think about you. So here it's early days because she's just arrived in the city. And to be fair, she cheated into the city. But just for the purposes of this particular representation. But yes, Baldur's Mouth, your one-stop news, stop for news thing kind of thing.
One-stop shop.
And that newspaper was in 60 frames per second.
I think we're actually approaching the Baldur's Mouth. So we're deep in the city, lots of things going on.
Lots of different
NPCs. Moving through the city. Where are we? Here we are. You can see all these snippets of life around the area.
There's a lot of, maybe you want to talk about that actually. There's a lot of voice going on in the city.
There's a huge amount. I mean, I don't know how well you can hear it, but there's constant conversation. There's a hubbub. It feels like a real city, I hope. I mean, it does to us. It's a very busy place, so you'll hear people talking. Somebody actually asked me how hard was it to have the team write all these lines. Oh, yeah. You want me to? Oh, I'm talking too much.
Sorry, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just going the wrong direction.
Oh, Chris. Oh no. Then I'll talk
big
more.
city. It's easy to get lost.
But somebody asked me how hard it was to fill the city with so much noise, and actually,
I was wrong.
It did a good job for us. It actually makes that job easier because if you listen to the people talking, they're actually reacting to events the same way the newspaper does. So they'll be talking about the things that have been happening. You'll hear these snippets that they help us to tell the story without you having to slow down, stop, and click on everyone. If you want to do that, you can. There's a lot of people to talk to in this city.
Including people that you might remember from Act 1.
That's Sorcerer's Sundries, right?
Yeah.
And so that's Aradin over there. And so his story continues here and actually depends heavily on what you've done, what you did in Act 1. One of the things you're going to find when you're going to be in the game is that a lot of the things that you did during your journey end in the city and have an impact here. And it's insane how far that goes. There's really a lot of reactivity to it. We don't want to spoil a lot, so we're not showing it to you, but you'll discover when you go in there. All right, go ahead. We're going to go and find an old friend of Karlach, I think.
That looks like a familiar face over there.
Yeah.
Your son Karlach.
Oh, I wouldn't start. Okay, there you go.
Cliffgate? That can't possibly be you, can it?
Fitz! If you want a sight for sore eyes.
Can we cut for a second? We forgot to remove the debug context.
I heard you'd run off to Neverwinter and that was what?
Everyone look at me.
Don't go back to it or just go. Hold on, I'll say,
I was wondering what that text was doing there.
I just realized that all our cine context is on the screen. So you don't want to see that, chat. I'm sorry. We had to rush and restart everything, so therefore... Okay, we're good again. We can go back.
Good to you. I won't lie. They have.
Should we let them
so
catch up?
tall.
Yeah.
Well, go on, girl. Tell me everything. First thing first, you saw the news, didn't you? About Archduke Gortash.
Right? Oh, I'm sure the fox will make a great duke of the hen house.
I think you were the only thing that kept him a little honest. After you left, things got dark, fast. I got out while my soul was still intact.
Aww.
Started working for an arms merchant. Still in the trade, as you can see. Met my fella Gregor that way. Been together 8 years now. And Karlach, we've a little one on the way.
Aww.
Fitz! That's incredible! Congratulations! Mum life, huh? You're going to be incredible.
God, I hope so. Even after all these years, it seemed to happen so fast. But now that you're back in town, you must come to ours. All of you. We'll have a good supper, catch up. You can meet Gregor. And the little one in a few months.
Aww.
Are the two of you together?
Ooh.
Isn't he handsome? Absolutely. You're well suited. I can tell just by looking at you.
Aww.
Pleasure to meet you, by the way.
I can't tell you how good it is to see you, Fitz. I'd love to come have dinner with you and Gregor. We're in the city on some urgent business, but can I come find you when it's all settled?
I'd love that. Meanwhile, if you're still in the business of intimidation, you should take a look at my stock.
All right. So cool. Karlach is your partner here. I think you have to press space. Yeah.
Great to have you.
All right. Karlach is your partner here. I think she still wants to talk to you. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Whoop. Cancelled.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Hope that wasn't a lie. I hope we do get to meet up with Fitz when this is all over. First step, save the city. Then, save myself. And last but not least, dinner with an old friend.
Aww.
What more could you ask for?
Right.
See, we're not always horrible, evil people.
There you go. So let's go to camp perhaps, and we're going to be sleeping on the docks because we didn't buy a room in the Elfsong Tavern yet, which we could have done.
Okay.
And you're going to go on a date, I think.
Ooh.
With haste.
Date time.
There's my beautiful tiefling. Just
there was your beautiful tiefling.
Pretty good.
Maybe it'll bring us closer.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hey.
Well, you want me to drive?
No, that did not trigger what it was supposed to.
Oh, so it's true, actually. Oh, wow.
Oh,
all right.
where's the date option?
That's a first. Okay, well, let's leave. We're going to have to go back to sleep. All right, well, our technical difficulties have set us in the wrong save game, apparently, because they had to reboot the PC. And we wanted to show you... actually, it is...
Oh, I think she's ready now.
I think she's ready now. And we're sorry about this. I mean, this
figured it out.
There we go.
She's just figured it out.
What I want to do with you.
All right. I'm very obedient.
I want to go on a date. A first date. No weapons, no monsters, no mysterious voices. Just you and me and dinner. Please say yes.
Aww.
I'd love to go out with you, Karlach.
Yes! Oh, amazing. Put the release plug in tune. I can meet you back here. Oh, I'm so excited!
Aww.
Let's go.
Give me a beat to run ahead. I want to make sure everything's absolutely perfect. See you there.
Aww. That's so cute. Oh yeah, casual clothes time.
Hi. Hi. You made it. You look nice.
Yes.
Why, thank you, so do you.
Thank you.
Aww.
Baldurian seafood stew. No, thank you. What do you think you'll have?
Wibs.
What does chat want?
Just what I had in mind. Two of the Rothe ribs, please. And 2 glasses of...
What do you think, chat?
Yeah.
Wine? Room says wine. All right.
Room says wine.
And 2 glasses of wine.
Predictable.
That NPC's name is Tender Hank.
So, you're an adventurer, right? How's that going?
Been around.
I know, but this is our first date, remember? Tonight, you're a mystery to me.
Aww. Aww.
Exactly. Anything you'd like to know about your enigmatic new paramour?
What do we reckon?
Tell me a secret.
Secret!
Oh, that's easy. During year 2 of my fabs adventure in celibacy in Avernus, I once got so... pent up, I burnt down my field tent. Blamed it on an imp and never told a soul the truth. Beat that.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
We'll have to make some new secrets between us then. Here comes our food.
Dun 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 dun. These plates are empty.
Hey, Hank, I think we ordered the...
You bleeder.
What? Road.
worst guy I ever met. Anyway, how about a toast?
Oh.
Shit! May we live every day like it's our last.
Oh!
Because you never know when your last will come.
Phrasing.
Let's cut away there.
Hun, you're muted.
Oh, that was great.
Well, because we got a different. We're keeping it a secret.
So I am. Oh my god! This whole time I've been reacting.
Today, and so they're really.
Yes. Oh my.
Next.
So cute, so adorable, so crazy.
So show it right now. However, we're not cruel either. We've got a other side of the spectrum when it comes to romance, and there we're not going to intervene. We're going to let chat fully decide, and we'll let you speak for chat what options you want to take. Adam is going to take the lead. Content warning, mature game. All right.
Mature
Some of
game.
you might
Really
be
big
uncomfortable
content
about what's about to come. So children, including my own children, turn your eyes away. Your father is not at all involved in this.
Sorry, children.
All right. So
you might want to. We might want to like. Do we have the ability to like shade this or like
during
I
bring up
don't
like a
know how to, but I already have the things set to mature, like not suitable for children. Yeah.
Things have evolved between them.
Hopefully.
All right, and so we're going to be. I believe. Are we in Worms Crossing right now, or
we're in the lower city?
We are in the lower city too.
Yeah.
All right, so a different place in the lower city.
So.
Take it away, Adam. I'll tell you what.
Asterian's ready for action. So we're in the lower city. Halsin came all the way here. He's not a big fan of the city. But here is my big strapping paramour.
Whoa.
You wish to speak? Fine.
Wait. No. Halsin.
Your save game too?
No, it's fine, I think.
Oh, their thing is blurred.
I think he just wants to wait until nighttime. One last
Oh,
tease.
it's nighttime. Oh, this is the one where I saw butt.
Oh, there's a butt. There's a butt.
There is some booty. Some meaty
Oh no, that's
booty.
just his red. That's just his red leather pants. That's fine. It's normal. It's all okay.
You came. I was concerned you might have had doubts.
Phrasing.
Or that this might have all been too soon.
It's up to you guys. 3.
Perhaps a little.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know how hard it's been for me to contain myself?
Ooh.
Oh.
You can tell the girls love this the most because they're the most vocal in the room.
Apparently.
4?
Well, hold on. We'll give chat a chance. We'll see where they want to go.
1. I've seen a lot of ones.
A lot of ones. Yeah, I see 1 is the dominant number.
It's gonna be 1.
Nevertheless, I will be gentle.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, there's definitely butt. Do I need to cover the screen up?
No, you should be okay.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Oh my goodness. And some selective shadow. Oh my goodness.
Grass. Donuts. YouTube demonetization. No.
Okay, I covered it up on our stream. Okay. It's back.
So, yeah.
Should I cover it up?
As nature intended.
No. Keep covering it up.
Cover it up? Okay, it is
Cover
covered
it up. Oh my goodness.
Okay, it is covered up. Oh, gasp. Something's going on! Ah! Oh, he is...
Oh, he's an actual bear. Haha, because the bear.
It's a bear.
Get the bear.
It's a bear, we get to see the
bear joke.
Da-da-da-da. Okay, covered up. All right.
Forgive me, I lost the run of myself. Sometimes, if blood runs hot enough, it's difficult to tame the beast.
The girls are all just like
about choice and
they're showing a picture
The reactions
of
the crowd, yeah.
and the girls are absolutely loving it.
Yep. They're saying more.
So one is like, don't apologize.
Okay.
I like it.
I see a lot of twos. One for sure.
It's one. Don't apologize. I like it.
You like it?
Yup. Sorry, guys.
So this is where we're entering some interesting territory.
I mean, at this point, it's not our responsibility anymore.
Yeah, no, you did this.
We have
Who said you did this?
every single opportunity.
Oh my god! This is definitely not for children.
No,
I mean, it's still me
No.
pressing the buttons.
It's like I still have it covered up. Sorry, you guys. You'll just have to wait till you play the game yourself.
Yeah, there's
Yup.
oh, there's
Yep.
there's
Oh my
some definitely
goodness. Yep. No,
some
there's-
stuff being seen. Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff.
I'm surprised if how is this going to make it onto YouTube? I don't know. People are like, I saw bees. I saw the bees.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Squirrel.
The squirrel. There, you can see the squirrel. Not safe for stream.
Okay, not safe for stream.
There we go.
Oh
You
my
see everybody's
goodness.
reaction now. Oh my goodness, sorry.
All right.
Okay. All right. That's good. They're finished now. They've gone back to the main menu.
All right.
Yep, they're back now. Wow.
All right.
Wow, some steamy stuff.
I'd like to say that we didn't expect this particular path.
Yeah.
We actually did expect that one. So that
They
was
actually did expect it,
When we
yep.
said spectrum, we meant it. There's a very wide spectrum. There's much more for you to discover. We don't want to spoil a lot. There's lots of moments of tenderness. There's lots of moments of silliness. There's lots of moments of fun to be had when you're going to be playing BG3. Now comes the hardest part of the evening for me. I got to transition from this to combat. Okay, so combat is really cool, but it's really hard after this one to transition. So what?
No, you're still using your sword.
Still using your sword. Yeah.
What we're going to do is we are going to have our two best players in the company. We're going to get them take place.
Who are they?
And in the meantime, well, that's you.
Yeah, get their two best players.
And we're going to have them play in multiplayer, because obviously BG3 is also a multiplayer game. You can play in multiplayer with up to 4 friends. You can play in split screen, so that basically means that the two couples can play together if you want, or obviously you can always play alone. The game always works, the stories always work, everything weaves into one another. If you want to play 4 origin characters, you can. You want to play 4 custom characters, you can. If you want to, courtesy of one of our producers who came up with the idea, if you want to be the master of a necromancer resurrected army, followed by plenty of zombies, so 4 necromancers, you can do that in multiplayer. It's crazy, the stuff that the game allows you to do. So, we're going to introduce Matt, while the two of you take place. Matt, can you come over, please? So we have a little chat about combat. Matt, you've been doing combat for us for a long time.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, and so you've created many legendary copies, memorable combats in our games, actually. Currently, you've been doing the end fight. That consumed you also for another 6 months, I think. It's really huge. But before we talk about combat, I wanted to talk about something which is actually the very first choice you make in the game. Well, no, the first choice is actually, do you want to have the modesty filter on, yes or no? The second choice that you make is what difficulty mode do you want to play at? So tell us a little bit about the difficulty modes that we're going to ship with.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first difficulty mode is balanced. That's the one all you guys in Early Access will have already been playing on. It's just the default mode for someone who wants a bit of challenge, but not too much challenge, who still wants to see and enjoy the story. Then next up, we have Explorer mode. For those of you who aren't quite as interested in being challenged in the combats, you just want to see the story, get on with it, that's the difficulty mode for you. And then finally, we got Tactician. I think a lot of people in the audience here, a lot of people on Twitch are looking forward to that one the most. That's our hard mode. That's the one that's really going to challenge you in the combats and even outside of the combats in some ways. Yeah.
And so, can you tell us a little bit what does Tactician mean? Like, what does that do to the game when you play in Tactician mode? Because it's not as simple as just like the HP has been buffed up, right?
Yeah, so we kind of have it in two layers. So there's the base layer that all the characters in the game are going to get. So that is the basics, like just increasing HP, making it easy for them to hit you. And then there's the local layer. So we've gone through every single combat in our game, and we've added in little bits of spice to make that combat shine just a little bit hotter and be that much harder.
Okay, so I want to follow up on that, but maybe first, like, what is the philosophy of combat in our game? Because our combat is not just something I just drop a couple of guys and I see what happens. There's a lot of engineering that goes into the creation of every single encounter that you're going to have. Is it about 300 or something like that?
Oh, I've long since forgotten the number of combats in this game. But yes, every single combat, we don't place characters idly. We have a philosophy around making each combat encounter a puzzle. And, well, puzzles are only solvable with the tools that you have. And what's so exciting about working in RPGs is every single party is going to have a different tool set to solve their puzzle with. It makes it very difficult to design sometimes, but a lot of fun in the end.
So can you give us an example, like, of a simple puzzle? Like, just what is, like, the basic puzzle?
Yeah, so a puzzle can be as simple as you've got a big bugbear standing in front of your party, and behind him on a roof is a goblin shooting down behind them. You got to figure out how to neutralize the goblin so he can't shoot you while dealing with the bugbear.
All right, so that means that if I have a, I don't know, I mean like a party, let's say the monk, we just introduced the monk. What does the monk do when they are trying to deal with this particular puzzle?
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about with having different tools to solve puzzles. So the monk is very cool because they have a passive called deflect missiles. So when a missile comes in, so an arrow from that goblin, you can actually deflect it back at them with a bit of luck. And take them out by yourself. So you don't actually need to care about that goblin as much. You're more worried about the bugbear.
Yeah. I don't know why you just don't throw fireball, but I mean, that's just me most likely. So same battle, you just described it. Now I'm going into Tactician mode. What changes?
Aha. So the fun thing about Tactician is we have so many different vectors to pull on to make the combat more engaging, more difficult, and to really enhance that puzzle. For example, we could put another roof and put a goblin on top of that roof. So now you have two goblins shooting down at you and you got to deal with the bugbear. Or maybe we give the bugbear a grenade and now he's able to do big explosions on you. Or we give the goblin in the back a fire arrow. Now he's going to blow things up. Or maybe we put some explosive barrels around you and you got to watch out for those.
That's good. Yes, that is better difficulty. All right, that is great.
But I know it's for you. And
instead of just like beefing up the
so
the
you
baddies,
are going to be
right?
playing in
makes
normal
combat
mode
more
first, and then we're gonna
interesting,
switch
but
to,
also more risk,
Tactician
more
mode just to
reward
see
kind
what the
of
delta is
thing.
in this
Yeah.
particular combat. However, before we going to do that, I believe we have a little clip that introduces the monk, because the two of you are going to be playing as the monk, the new class that has been introduced to BG3. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at that video and then jump to gameplay with these two star players.
We're so good.
Yeah, I know.
Monks in D&D are inspired by the monastic traditions of Tibet. You will be basically a kung fu specialist.
We looked at a monk and said, like, what are the key visions for a monk? Like, what do we want the monk to be? And we broke that down again and started describing, okay, so subclasses we want to bring into, we've got Way of the Open Hand, we've got Way of Four Elements, and we have the Way of the Shadows, and each of those subclasses is very distinct in the way it interprets what a monk means.
The open hand monk, that's just the classic kung fu movies archetype, where one person and with two fists and two legs can knock down the whole room full of enemies. The other one is Four Elements. They basically can cast spells. And the last one is Shadow Monk.
It's the ultimate ninja. We wanted players to kind of see that, so we've given Shadow Monk this brand new ability called Shadow Strike, where from the shadows you can instantly teleport to an enemy, blast them for a good amount of psychic damage, and your melee weapon or punches, because you want to encourage both.
All right, so I gotta say, I would never in my life play a monk. This is my job. All right, and so I've been playing with it. I actually enjoyed it. So I got to say kudos to the combat team and the systems design team, because it was actually quite a lot of fun. And I heard a lot of people here and yesterday and the event that we organized to get first hands on the game. A lot of people actually enjoyed playing as a monk, so which is almost impossible. So it's so that's actually quite good.
Class.
And look at that, we have an actual monk standing there.
Hello.
All right, and he's going to show us. What are you?
I'm the Shadow. I'm Way of Shadow, so I'm the ninja monk, the coolest one. Yeah, and I know this so well. I didn't even listen to Matt because I know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay, so whose move is it?
Oh, it's my move. So first thing I'm going to do is, so you may know this combat from early access. It doesn't have to be a combat like anything else, but you walk in here, these goblins ambush you. If you're a martial class, then sometimes you get pinned down by them in the middle there, but monks are really fast. So we've managed to dash up on the roof already, and I'm going to deal with them. So flurry of punches, which looks badass, and that's one down already. And then I'm also going to show some Dragonborn stuff, and I'm going to burn this one with my breath.
Oh yeah, because that's a racial trait that you get as a Dragonborn.
So,
yeah, okay.
So this is a spellcaster Buyag, so I'm going to stay close to him, so I get an opportunity, attack of opportunity on him, and I'm going to throw across to Alina.
All right. Well, I'm an elemental monk, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm a.
You have absolutely no idea what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I've been, just introduced to the monk class today. But anyhow, I'm gonna try to deal with two goblins on my side of the roof, and we're gonna try to blow them both away. And well, we succeeded at one, right? So that's good enough.
That's better than I would.
Right.
It's not good enough.
So harsh.
That's fine. I'm okay. So this guy should try and run away from me, I'm hoping. Oh, there's another one down there, but that's fine. We can deal with all of these. So the good thing about the monk is the speed is what I love, because it's my favorite class now, genuinely. And one of the things I like about it is the speed, because you can close on enemies really quickly. You can do hit and run tactics. So while everybody else is prepping spells and doing all that stuff, and you run and you punch on, you get back into the shadows again. It's great.
That's good. I like that. It's good play
Now,
style.
I don't need to be super complicated about this. Matt promises me that it's going to get much more difficult on Tactician. But right now, we should be fine. So fine that I'm confident enough that sorry, I dashed. Oh, that's okay, yeah. So I'm going to get down here, and then I can jump through here, beat this guy up. We've won. Ignore the scream. That is all as intended. All ninjas scream. This is what they do.
All right, I'm gonna dash with my. Oh, did I dash actually? Oh, I guess I did. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Almost got this one, goblin.
I can see the hands of the masters in action.
It's impressive, right?
You want to put them in tactician mode.
Yeah. I mean, they've got it under control.
We've done this in Tactician mode half a time.
Listen, my mode is a story mode, so.
Wait, what? No, but so I can get up here, and I get this one cornered. These little ranged guys, it's just fun to beat up on them. So I do have other abilities, but I don't need them right now. I can cast Darkness as a Shadow Monk, so I can blind this guy. I got Silence, so I can create a sphere of silence around myself. Useful for dealing with magic users. I've only got 2 hit points, I just noticed. That's not ideal.
All right. Let's finish
Yeah,
this
that
one
sounds
off,
like me
and,
forgetting to
we'll,
watch my health.
I guess. Go help Adam.
Yeah, that happens a lot. It's not just.
Looks like you're
everybody
handling
makes
it, though.
those mistakes.
We're handling it very well. I mean, the mobility is great because you get these little archers, and I mean, it's a goblin. So, this is deflect missiles. So, hopefully, you can send this straight back at him. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
And then I will finish this one off, and that was a little bit too far. You finish this one off.
All
Not
right.
this. It's fine. Fine.
Good job. Good job.
I wanted to handle this on our own because I'm the master, and you need to you teach not by example, but by.
Clearly.
What does it do to you, Matt, to see
Fall
this in action?
damage.
He's thrilled.
You know what? I see a master like this teaching a young Padawan how to improve. It's very beautiful.
Oh, I'm happy that it makes you happy.
Okay, let's go Tactician then.
Yeah, let's reload and see you do the same thing in Tactician.
They're only goblins.
Who's the host?
I guess me. Yeah.
Yeah. Helping down characters tutorial. I don't know why that came up.
All right. Let's find out.
But the thing is that I would have been helped back onto my feet. It would have all been fine. There's, it's.
Well, we see how you do on this one, Adam. So this is one of the ones that I was talking about before. We've given it a pretty cool treatment for Tactician mode. So not only will all the goblins now have fire arrows, I've added a few little spicy explosive surprises
I'm
all around.
still not listening to him. It's fine. We're going to be absolutely fine.
And can you? Yeah, go. Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I just wanted to, because there's something that he didn't mention and I thought it was really cool. Tactician mode is not only your little spies, the AI is also cranked up, right?
That's true, yes.
Yeah, can you tell me a bit of the things while these guys are trying to go through it? Well, maybe you should keep an eye on it. Before, don't move, Adam. Hold that move. Tell me about Brutal AI.
All right, so Brutal AI, we want to make it feel like you're going against a DM that's, trying to push you to your limits. So this is going to manifest in ways like attacking your more squishy characters. So going back to the Bugbear and the Archer, maybe the Archer's going to try to pick off Gale because he's in the back and squishy. And some really smart characters might even start targeting you for your concentration spells, trying to break those off.
Wait a minute, I always play as a wizard, so this has consequences.
Oh, just don't use concentration spells, you'll be fine.
So if I do like, I don't know, give me an example of...
let's say...
Cloud of Daggers.
Cloud of Daggers. That's the one. Thank you. I was trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Cloud of Daggers requires concentration. Put it in front of a bad guy, right?
Yeah, so you expect the big bad guy to walk through it.
As it goes in video games.
Yeah, maybe the goblin's going to try to shoot your guy concentrating on the Cloud of Daggers.
Instead of what their closest target would be, or the target that would have a higher chance for them to hit.
Yeah.
That's going to shoot at my mage.
Potentially, yes. So you got to be really careful and really smart about how you position your characters, how you're going to protect those characters in the back, and keep those concentration spells up.
Right. You need to know the rule set also when you're playing a Tactician, right? So because you really need to start getting every single advantage that you can, because otherwise you're going to get obliterated. I've noticed among playtesters, and so I'm addressing the audience directly here, because I know you're all badass, and I know you're all going to play on Tactician because you just can handle it, and then you're going to start crying, and then you're going to say the game is bad. It's not our fault. It's you. All right. So, you just go back to balance. That's how it's intended to be. You go to Tactician, you got to know what you're doing, because otherwise you really do get creamed. All right, this is I speak from experience. These two are going to demonstrate it. Can we see you in action on Tactician? I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah.
That's
you're able to change the difficulty on the fly, right?
True, also, yeah.
Here, so we switched it to Tactician, and I guess, shall we? You go first, Adam.
Okay. I don't know why they're laughing. So...
Get over there! Surround them like!
We don't need to listen to them. Attack.
Looks like we're spotted, lads!
So we got the initiative, which is great. So... You see, before we snuck up on the roof, we got up onto the roof. It worked out well, but this time I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to take this one out first. I should be pretty sheltered from those guys here. And I'm going to use my silence over on these ones.
That's actually quite smart. I think it's...
You said that like it was really unexpected.
He's a master, Sven.
I am too far away to do it, which makes it less smart. So I'm going to make darkness over here, so that anyone who comes down here is going to have difficulty shooting me.
You look good with a few arrows!
I always look good. Like this.
Oh. That's what you meant with the...
Explosive surprise, yeah.
So the barrel wasn't there before.
Oh, I'm dead.
She just got one shot.
Oh
I assume you're applauding that I'm still standing.
Hold on. I got an idea. Can you pick up your controller?
Yes.
She's now taking her controller and she's switching to controller mode. She's still dead, doesn't help the situation. However, we have the Master of Combat sitting right here.
I thought that was me.
The second Master of Combat. And he is going to demonstrate how well he knows this game by making all the difference. Matt Holland, with a round of applause, please pick up the second controller. And switch to split screen. All right, so tell us what's going on, Matt.
So we are now playing in local split screen combat here, and player 3 has entered the game. So unlike these guys, I have decided to get ahead of the game. I didn't go in right away. I decided to sneak up behind the goblins.
Ooh, controller support
they're
looks
in combat.
really
The goblins
nice.
haven't noticed me yet, so I get the opportunity to get a cheeky
Yeah, I'm
little
super
shot
excited
off
for
here.
that.
Actually, you know what? Let's do some dragon breath. See how they like that.
It seems your actions have earned you an enemy.
They didn't like that very much.
You weren't an enemy actually yet.
Yeah, they didn't know him.
Yeah. Cool.
And because I used my action to do the breath, I only have my bonus action left, but that's all right, because now I get to punch it. We like punching here. All right, that's one down, and I'll end my turn.
Maybe you want to guide Adam?
What?
Just accept advice from the master when it's your turn.
I don't. I'm dead.
Yeah, me too.
Are you?
Yeah. We're just
Oh, we're
lying
very
there.
dead.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
I can see it from here.
I didn't even
Usually
get to
we
do
survive for
anything.
two
I just walked in there.
Did I too?
They got me too.
No, Adam did something. You passed the darkness.
Fine. Faster.
You gonna solo this? Oh yeah, our sound. We lost our sound.
The sound of my silencing skills. As I accidentally loot a corpse. All right, I don't know, this looks a bit dicey, even for the second master, but I'm gonna go in.
Are you telling me you're gonna die?
That's the classic
no
ninja
promises.
move again.
And I'm gonna try to kite them here, and end my turn. See, that guy's really angry, he just wants to arrest me. That guy just summoned a warg on top of me.
Is that part of the spice that you added, the work?
That is a bit of extra spice we added. And as much as I do like spice in my game, this one might be a bit spicy for just my little monk here.
Well, you can still help us, but I can't promise you would do any good.
I don't think I can. You're both dead.
Yeah. Oh, did we die for real? Oh,
yeah,
okay. Oh, no.
Whenever you want to say it's
And you miss.
defeat,
Oh, that's not good.
I clearly have to go and learn from Sensei here.
All right. Okay, give it up for Matt Holland and team on combat. I gotta say,
good job, everybody.
I'm actually really happy that this happened to them. So they're always laughing at me. You're going off script. Why are you going off script? Why is it always going wrong? La, la, la.
We never do that.
All right, I'll get my tactician mode. I added a little bit of spice. All right, we're gonna switch topics. Crystal, if you could come back. We are going to talk about story and cinematics. We're going to talk about. We're going to look at something that I think is for Larian as a whole. This has been an incredible step up. With DOS 2, we made a reasonably good game, which was a lot of fun. But what it didn't have was immersive storytelling in the sense that you couldn't see it. You could only imagine it because it was just text and subtitles. And so as we started on BG3, we want to make it all cinematic. We said we want to make a cinematic game, but we don't want to compromise. We want to keep all of the branching that we had before, but we want to tell it now in a visual story, in a cinematic way. And so we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, to be honest. But we knew a couple of guys and that turned out to be really, really good at their jobs. And so they started an entire cinematic department within our company. I'm talking about Chris Voss and Jason Latino. And they built up an incredible cinematics pipe. which has delivered 176 hours of cinematics, which is insane.
Oh, it is
It's
176.
Insane. And
Ha!
everybody says, oh, it's just dialogue, but hey, go ahead and try it. It's not just dialogue. There's a lot of more than just dialogue. There's so much in the game. You've seen some scenes already today. You just barely scratched the surface of what we have to offer in BG3. You're never going to see it all. It's not going to be impossible unless you dedicate the rest of your lives to playing this game, which I would not recommend. But you're going to see a lot of cool stuff. Let's have a look at what they have to say for themselves. Video?
Well, this is the first time that Larian's really engaged with cinematic content, especially at this level of fidelity and this quality. So all of this had to be built sort of custom. It was sometimes difficult, sometimes challenging, but ultimately we ended up with something that we're really happy with.
It's stunning, honestly. Like the amount of work and care that went into this, you can just feel it in every second. When you're engrossed in the story, that feeling is still underlying everything. It's a foundation of what they poured into this game, and I can't wait to see the whole thing. I love how it blends cinematic feel and playing D&D feel.
We aim to capture that feeling of an epic adventure, and we want to translate that into a rich visual experience for players. Animation-wise, being able to bring all these creatures to life with all their little mannerisms, their little behaviors, for the players to see that, it adds a whole new level to the experience.
The thing that makes Baldur's Gate enjoyable and like a D&D experience is these really diverse cast of characters that you could have join on your adventure.
Fans of D&D who are familiar with the lore and fans of the previous series will be familiar with iconic locations such as Elfson Tavern, the Worm's Crossing, and obviously Baldur's Gate itself.
From the start, we wanted to really capture the feeling of being around the table. So the main challenge was usually scope. And that is something that our cinematics team and our writing team had to deal with, a huge scope of all of the possibilities that whatever you can do.
It feels like a modern evolution, sort of a faithful glow-up of the original.
So the scope of the story majorly grows as you go further and further into Act 2 and then Act 3 eventually. So what you have seen in Act 1 is only a glimpse of how the story begins.
One of the big conversations that we have is making sure that we're reinforcing what the player has done along their journey and what they have yet to do and where their possible effects could be.
The amount of mocap and VO that we had to shoot to sort of cover all those different permutations, it is a large task, but ultimately I think it's going to be like such fan service and give people the play and the reaction that they expect based on their choices.
What the player will be fighting against, obviously all of the classic and fun Dungeons & Dragons characters that we could really cook up. You know, everything you can imagine. And then we also have our main antagonists, like Gortash, Orin, we have Ketheric as well.
Orin is one of the most fascinating people that I've ever had the chance to work on. She is relentless. She is just a law unto herself. Her perception of the world and her position in it is truly terrifying in a lot of ways. Everything about her has been informed by this utter admiration for this horrendous deity that she worships.
Obviously, if you align with them, and if you actually choose, I wouldn't say the evil path, because the game is very nuanced, right? But if you do, you know, go along with some of them or some of the choices, you'll have them on your side.
Shall we be allies?
You like these characters when you shouldn't like them.
People ask, how much variety is there in a playthrough in Baldur's Gate 3? How long is it? How many different ways can it go? Well, if you just blitz through it, it probably takes a minimum of 80 hours. If you make any kind of distractions whatsoever, get involved in the game and start to flesh out your own experience, it can run many times that in length.
Every time that you come back into the game, there's a new path to discover. Like, everything is super non-linear in the story. There's so many different consequences. There's a huge amount of variety and replayability as well, I would say.
It's hard to quantify the amount of story in Baldur's Gate 3, but we have rough estimates. There is a lot of cinematic animation that results in being roughly 3 times the length of the Game of Thrones television series. Word count There is approximately 1.9 million words being spoken or written.
It took me 2 weeks just to get through Act 1, talking to everybody and having all of these adventures on the side and finding every last person I could talk to and exhausting their dialogue tree and then moving on.
They recombine based upon the choices that you make and that the characters react to in ways that make them feel much deeper than superficial.
The more we progressed the project and the more cinematics were introduced and the camera kept getting closer, the more and more people feel immersed into their character, into the world.
The way we make sure that the immersion of the player would be consistent between gameplay and cinematic is how the lighting encodes the character where he is. If he has bad thought, the lighting can react and become darker. And if he's actually happy and overjoyed, you can see a reaction as well.
The music fully resonates the adventures of the players throughout the story, but in general I'd say that it goes in a very deeper and darker direction. And one of the things that I personally like quite a lot is that the music is fully reflecting the changes in the world, which can happen as a result of the player's decision and actions.
Heed your call. A new chapter begins.
We have such a holistic approach to everything. We are just inundating the player with all of this feedback and all of these rich visuals and rich sound and rich music that we just give them this total experience right from the first step into the game. I mean, I think people are just going to be shocked and amazed by the level of quality and the level of realness that we provided them.
The ambition just grew and grew bigger, and it was never about where's the limit, but how to push that limit.
All right. So, it is a thing of beauty. It's absolutely incredible. We have so many talented people in our team that contributed to this. It's obviously not only your cinematics team, it's all the teams that contributed to creating this amazing, amazing experience that you're about to experience for yourselves. It is. I just keep on watching and discovering new stuff, and it's just mind-boggling how it even works. It's just insane. That said, what is your favorite moment in the game?
I can't spoil it, unfortunately, but I can tell you a bit about it. So my favorite moment in the game involves one of our villains, and it's a big cinematic moment. It's a thing that you build to, and the reason that it's my favorite moment in the game is that I remember when the words first came onto my screen. Somebody had written this scene. It was fantastic. We worked on it for a little while, and that was it. It was in the game. It was there, and you could click it, and you could see the text on the screen. And then the cinematics team got their hands on it, and suddenly it was something different. And then the artists, they made the models for these villains, and suddenly it was something different. And then Bobby, who I think is in the room, put the music behind it, and yeah, I mean, and the people performed the voices, and the people performed the motion capture, and the script has made it all work, and the engine behind it, and all of these things come together, and I remember seeing those sentences on the screen. And then it was that, and yeah.
All right, what about you?
It's also difficult to talk about. One of the companion endings. I'm not going to mention
I know
it,
what you're talking about.
But my God, I remember, same as you're describing, I read it in words and I was like, wow, this is really good writing. And then it got turned into a cinematic, and now I want to cry every time I see it.
I know. I remember the cinematic artist because we have this channel on Slack where we post things. And they were saying like, I've been postponing this because I didn't want to work on it because it's so heart-wrenching. And then they showed what they made and it was fantastic. It was really, really good. Yeah, no, true work of passion. Big, broad game. Maybe to close the topic of cinematics, adventure in this enormous world, because we haven't talked actually even about the size of the world, the things you can do, the secrets behind the secrets behind the secrets, how it all works, how you can always apply your systemics to whatever you encounter. When we set 174 hours of cinematics, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, what we're really saying is about choice.
Yeah, so we're not expecting you to watch 174 hours of cinematics back to back. I think our longest cinematic, they're not even that long. Our cutscenes are not these epic long things. Some of them are intense and they go on for a while, but you're not going to be sitting there for a Kojima time, you know? It's not like that. usually going to be having choices throughout them. How you approach them makes them different. So it's not this incredibly long sequence. You're playing in between them. You're having conversation between you, having combats in between them. And as Sven said before, no compromise. And this was the thing. It's like if we're going to make this game cinematic, then that cannot get in the way of the things that we know we're already good at. It had to be. We're also going to be brilliant at this. And I mean, it's incredible. And you know from what we said earlier, like if you play this game as Asterion as an origin, you're going to see cinematics that you'll never see if you don't play as Asterion as an origin. That's true for all of them.
Yeah. This is very true, and you're right to quote to no compromise, because that was literally the approach. It took us 6 years to make this game. It's longer than we wanted to. We actually thought we were going to ship a couple of years ago, so things happened. The world obviously changed, but it's also a bigger challenge than we expected.
Lots of
but we
things
didn't compromise.
changed.
We grew our team way more than we thought that we were going to grow when we started on this game. We did that for the same reason. We didn't want to compromise.
Unlike other
on the
games
vision
that have
for
been
this
in
game, because
development
it was,
hell, this
as
was
somebody in the audience said, too important of a game
with a
for it to be
design and a
compromised.
goal
We didn't want to go down that route. We wanted to be really something that was worthy of the name, worthy of the legacy of Dungeons and Dragons, which is so important to so many people all across the world. It has changed so many lives. So we've did our best. I mean, you're about to see what our best looks like, but we did what we could, and we put everything we had inside our team at it. And I think you will find that our team is at the top of their craft right now. They are very, very skilled. They have really so much talent, and you're about to discover what that means when you have a team that diverse as ours, put their hearts and souls into a game like Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you. All right, I am coming to the end of the panel from hell, but not quite the end. So we're going to do a couple of things. Adam and I are going to go on a little bananas playthrough. These things never go the way that we want them to go. So we're going to do the full outro here, and then we'll see what's going to happen, because we're going to take some creative risks, as they say. So what we're going to do is we're going to spoil a bit of the game also. So that's another reason not to watch the rest of the show.
Well, we won't stream that bit,
but what we're going to do is we're going to show you a section of Act 2. And we are going to show you from two different perspectives. I'm going to be the good guy. He's going to be the bad guy. And we will have made choices
Are we going to show this next bit, or should I?
No,
to this particular moment. And you're going to see the same situation from two different perspectives. You're going to see it what happens.
Because we don't want to spoil anything about Act 2.
In a good manner.
True. Because a lot of us have just been playing Act 1.
There was a number of spoilers
the camera
already in
was
the
on
game.
top. And then Adam, in this particular case, the camera will be at the bottom. And he's going to go and approach that same...
There we go, I muted him. Switch back to the other thing. So, yeah. Okay. Oy, that was a lot that they have shown us. And yeah, I actually uninstalled the game for a little bit there, just because like I wanted to like have like a nice fresh playthrough when like it's like ready for release. And they said that since we got the early access, we're gonna get the what do you call it, the deluxe version, deluxe digital, right? And still listening to him?
Last of them. So I gotta show the collector's edition. I think we're showing the collector's edition.
Oh, they're showing the collector's edition.
I'm really,
there it is. There is the collector's. The last couple of hundreds of collector's editions.
I honestly don't want the.
It's also the first time we're actually showing the final thing.
Miniature.
All right, so they're going to be shipping.
I have zero interest
probably not be in time
illicit,
for the actual release because we
miniature.
moved the release date forward, but they
So it's
are
like it would be
done.
getting
They're
them just
ready.
for the sake of getting
And I'm going to need a volunteer. Do you want to be the
It's like-
volunteer unboxing it?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't
Go
need
ahead
that.
and just unbox that thing. I'm just going to watch and tell people what you're going to discover. In the meantime, we are going to move on to our PCs and set ourselves up. All right? All right. Crystal? I need to pass. Thank you.
Always, everything
Right,
always
yeah.
goes perfectly.
I
as
got
it
this. I've
should.
been opening boxes my whole life.
There we go. Ooh, box within a box within a box. That's some fancy foam.
Yeah.
Fancy letter.
Yeah.
There's now only 99 left.
Ooh, a tablecloth.
It's the map.
It's very pretty.
Map.
What this?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Hey.
Of
Oh wow.
It's the very first one.
Certificate? It's the very first one, yeah. All zeros.
Oh yeah, 00000.
Oh, character sheets. Cool.
Cool. Very cool.
Very
All
nice.
of the characters.
All of them.
I'll find him. I'll find him. He's here.
Yeah. They all love Astarion.
Open up inside. Some lovely stickers.
Yeah, those are some nice stickers.
Yell if you need me to hurry up, huh?
Oh, and there's a book.
Oh, this is wonderful. This is incredible.
Beautiful.
Give you a quick glimpse inside, just a little bit.
Yeah. Ah, that's so pretty. I really like seeing the artwork of the games, especially like, so nice. So nice.
Flip real slowly.
Game, so I need to remake my save.
Okay, right. So, starting from page 1. Some more Astarion.
Okay. It's very pretty. Oh.
There's a lot of pages.
Right, yes, Polly's, that is a good collector's edition.
We have
that is a nice art book.
Gorgeous. Oh, card packs. Collector's cards from Magic.
Okay. Oh, there's something big in here. It's really big.
It's a
Carefully
tadpole.
open.
Oh. Look, it's ginormous.
It's ginormous tadpole.
I'll do the little things. There's some building.
That's metallic dice, right?
Yeah.
It's really heavy or not?
Yeah?
Yeah, the metallic dice is really heavy.
That's why you're waiting,
Really
Crystal.
nice, because it's really big too.
Apparently we were banned on TikTok because of the bear scene.
Oh yeah, the bear scene.
Oh, they were banned on TikTok. Oh.
I think I've just broken it. Wait, I'm gonna assemble it. Right. Ooh, no.
There's no cops here, right?
Yeah.
Well.
Oh.
Oh
no! Falling down.
I'm not good at the assemblage. Hang on. I think you're gonna bash it in there. There you go. There you go.
Smash it in there. There we go.
See, neither of those characters I'm interested in, so it would just be getting it for the sake of getting it. And don't get something for the sake of just getting it. That's not a good way to spend your money.
No.
Get things that you want, that you really want.
Yes.
Of course, they're literally almost all sold out. We had a few hundred. We had 1,000 reserved, and so I'm not going to name, and that for some reason didn't materialize. So suddenly we have 1,000 left. So there's.
Oh, shit, I'm going to leave this guy.
And what a coincidence, yeah, indeed. But there's only a few hundred left now, so they went really fast. What am I doing?
There you go.
I'm doing these.
I'll leave that guy out.
What can go wrong?
Don't jinx yourself, Sven.
The dice?
Again.
5.
5.
That's promising. All right. Adam?
Yeah?
I have, while the stream was going on, I remade my save game using cheats. I think I did.
I didn't need to.
I know, you were better prepared than I was. But people have been using this PC to rehearse it, so my things were gone, which is fine. I trust the game.
He was very quick at it,
that trust is warranted.
that's
So,
pretty impressive.
we're going to get started with the last part. So we did the official outro. This was the official goodbye. Thank you, chat. You were fantastic. Thank you, audience. Were fantastic. We're going to go now in the after show. The after show, which is going to be a bit of gameplay. It's really cool. It is very spoilery. You're going to meet one of the bad guys in the game.
Yeah, no, we're not
going
to
see those different perspectives.
So I will mute it now.
We'll just mute
Muted,
and close it
we're
off,
gonna switch it out.
and we're going to switch that out. So yeah,
there we go.
Okay, so overall, you literally turn the video off because you still got a little bit of it open there.
Yeah, no, I was just doing the thing. Do. There we go.
Spoiler free. Okay.
Spoiler free. Yes.
With the exception of a handful of events, like 2 romance events, which I don't think either. I don't think most of us are going to see, because it's obviously very specified to people who are into bears. I don't think that's most people. I think that's a very, very small subsect. But I do want to mention that, like, you know, some people in the chat were like, "Oh no, boo," and it's like, no, it's fine, because you can go through that same scene as a female character or as Shadowheart or as like whatever you want, right?
Mhm.
So, and that's kind of the important thing, is like giving players the choice.
Yeah,
is
the option.
The option is really good, because it just allows people to play how they want to play.
Exactly.
And if some scenes are only seen by like 0.1% of the population, that's still fine, because
that is totally
that 0.1
okay.
of the population is still an important metric for when you're giving players the ability to choose and the ability to come up with some interesting scenes. And the squirrel dropping his nut is like hilarious.
So funny.
on like 1,000 different levels. That's really funny, and it's obviously it's just meant. I mean, it's sort of a bit of a gag as far as like that goes, because it's a squirrel dropping its nut.
Right.
It's hilarious. I think that's absolutely hilarious. And again, it's like having that option is good for everybody. I also saw that they haven't shied away from skimpy clothing on characters, and that is something that, again, it's like, we had one person, I'm not sure if they're still here or not, that was annoyed by that, and it's like was annoyed by like the idea of them going woke, but it's like, again, you don't have that in like you don't have like very beautiful, attractive girls stripping down in most games these days, because that scene is bad for some reason. I don't know how that was decided as bad. I don't know who came up with that as an idea. It's like, oh, so now we're going to punish people because the way that they're born? Like, I thought that was the whole thing that we were trying to avoid.
Right.
But whatever, right? Whatever. And I'm getting like political, and I don't want to. So anyways.
No, so
that's that's it before the release, which is less than a month away.
Yeah.
It is now, I think it's just 3 weeks away now.
At this point.
I think this game is going to be one of the best games we've ever played, because you are going to have the choice to play the game how you want to play.
Yeah,
if you want a difficult game, you can have a very difficult game. If you want to have a light game, you can have a light game. If you want to play quick story mode, that's it. If you want to make it more about combat and just skip most of the chat because you find that boring, I think there's going to be room there, and there's definitely going to be mods and multiplayer modes where I'm sure they're going to be introducing some kind of an arena type game at some point in the future. I would imagine, really looking forward to that as far as like modders and whatnot goes, because the ability to have a game where you just load up, you got 10 waves, and you see how far you can get with your character build. That's going to be cool. I like that idea. There's even a couple other mods that I've been kind of playing with the idea of making, and we'll see once the mod tools once more official mod tools come out, because some of them are going to need that. Everything in the story is looking great, because you have so much choice. You have so many options. You can do whatever you want in whatever way that you want to do it. If you want to play a hardcore evil villain, you can do that now. If you want to play, somebody who's fighting against that, you can do that now.
Yeah.
It's like there's no point in which these are going to be bad options. No, there's no bad options here in any of the gameplay that we've seen. We're seeing good things, and I think that overall we're going to have probably one of the best PC experiences you could possibly have in playing this game. And we know, because we've had our hands on it for 3 years, and we've seen them grow, we've seen them establish it. I'm really jonesing to play this game right now. I'm like, I want to play it. I want to play it right now, because it looks really, really good. And I think this is just, it speaks volumes to when you give players choice and you give players the ability to do whatever they want. You just provide the tools for people to do the stuff that they want to do. And yes, there's going to be some sad endings and some character stuff, and some of them you're going to be able to avoid. I don't know if you'll be able to avoid all of them, but we'll see. And it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. So yeah, that's overall, I am incredibly happy with where this game is.
Yes.
And I think that it is going to be one of the best games that we've ever seen on PC. I think it is a true continuation. They did ask that question. Josh Dryface said, what makes you the worthwhile person, people of continuing the idea, the concept that is, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and specifically Neverwinter Nights, because that's really what this is a continuation of. The action RPG of just like auto casting, stuff like that. It doesn't feel like a tabletop game to me. So I actually prefer the turn-based thing. I know some people disagree with that. But it really is like the tabletop experience of like doing an action by action, sitting there and thinking about your choices, discussing them with your party and your group, and coming up with solutions on the fly. That's really the fun, because you can't really do that when you send your characters in to a room and you look away for 20 seconds, then you come back and they managed to kill everything. It's like, I don't think that's actual gameplay. Like, not in the sense of like wanting a deep RPG. That's gameplay in the sense of like RTSs.
Yeah.
Those are fun, and those are totally different type of game, not necessarily an RPG, not usually an RPG. So I know that some people, again, they disagree, and that's fine. We can all have our different opinions. I'm saying that from the perspective of what a tabletop is to me, this game is really absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I know that people want like a more actiony RTS, and that's fine. And we are going to see some games. If you're looking for a dark, actiony, fast-paced RPG where you just literally it's live action, you can click and go. Dark Envoy is actually a game that incorporates that. It does have the turn-based mechanics, but it also has the ability to just select it, put it on free-for-all, fast speed, and you play it like you're playing a version of Warcraft 3 or StarCraft. You're just highlighting units, sending them into a room. They're attacking automatically. They're casting abilities automatically. You can pause it if you want, but you don't need to. So those types of games are coming, and Dark Envoy really actually looks really, really good. There's a demo out right now that you can play to check that out. So we're going to see that, and I'm going to play that game too, because as much as I don't actually like the RTS, the ability that they give me the choice in that is really great. And I suspect that there might even be a chance that we might see that for Baldur's Gate at some point in the future, as far as player mods goes. So that's the whole deal. Deep dive. I'm loving this. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to play it. It's going to be great. and I think this is I think we've got a really cool adventure on the way. There was nothing majorly that screamed at me during the showcase as far as like amazing new feature, other than everything that they mentioned: new character creator options, the dark urge, player storyline that you can chase, all that stuff. I think all of this stuff is great. It's all what I was more or less expecting, so there's nothing that super like jumped out at me. I'm going to love trying several of the new classes, subclasses a go. And yeah, Mooney, anything from you that you saw?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for the character
Mooney.
creation. Yes. What?
Are you muted, Mooney?
No.
I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
No, I'm
or
not.
My speakers died. Oh, my headset.
Yeah, his
died.
headset died. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, no, I am excited for the character creation, and just like I don't know, I've always been hyped for the animal speak, but no, I just like overall just like how I can play through the story in like my own way. I'm not stuck to a linear storytelling method, right? Because it's like as much as like I do enjoy like experiencing like a story in a way that like has been specifically written to convey whatever it is, like this, I just really like the freedom for like people to come at it from like whatever angle they want to, whatever suits their fancy, whether they want to try something that's like close to what they would choose in real life, or if they want to go completely down another avenue altogether, like with the dark urge and whatnot. Because like we've said earlier, is like for the most part, like people do generally do like a goody good playthrough, but it's like it's nice to just have the option, right? Whether to like to stick to the straight and narrow, or like go down through a different darker path, right? So yeah, I'm just excited to see what people choose, and also the what do you call it, the co-op potential, right? Because it's like, you know, we're all going to come together.
Going to be great. Like the co-op is going to be seriously great. I can't wait. I'm going to do a bit of a playthrough with a number of people. We're going to have, obviously there's going to be some really cool bits where we are going to once like the full multiplayer, including like custom campaigns, comes out. I mean, this really opens the door. Like, it really opens the door. Like, can a bunch of wizards who are sleep deprived fight off a troll with nothing but a couple boots and a shovel? It's like, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that would be very hilarious.
We don't know. Trick is right. We don't know which one they're showing right now. And yes, so the what Trick said in the chat. Yes, they are still going on. They are showcasing two very spoiler-heavy Act 2 paths. They're doing one evil playthrough and one good playthrough right now. We are not showing that because it's very spoiler-heavy, and we want to try and keep as much of Act 2 clean as we possibly can. There was a handful of like minor scenes that they showcased for Act 2 in the video that we covered, including a dating scene with one of the main protagonists, and then also a lovemaking scene with
the bear guy
and a big male bear in more ways than one, if you catch my drift.
And that got them banned from TikTok.
Yeah, and they got banned from TikTok for showing that one.
So like we threw up this art to cover up the thing, because we were like, I don't want to get banned. Oh my gosh. Polly's in the chat.
So, Polly's, yeah.
I gotta be nice player. Sees important NPC with nice gear. I'm so sorry, dear NPC. Rolls for attack. Right? Because that's one of the themes that they said in the showcase is like there's going to be choices, there's going to be temptation, there's going to be like lots of stuff like pulling you this way and that way, and it's up to each player to pick which way they want to go, right?
And Polly's, that's why you play a thief, so you just steal it from them instead of killing them for it.
Right?
So, anyways, all right, that does it for this. The final panel from Hell, which again,
they said it's number 8.
We were going to call it the final panel from Hell, but I was like, nah, they're going to have more panels from Hell for their expansions. Like they've got to, I would imagine it. Like there's probably so much depth there that they can really focus on and add and build on. It's like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, so like while this is the final panel from Hell pre-release, likely like we can see that there's the potential for them to have more later on.
Yeah.
Because like for one thing, it's very entertaining. And Sven wears armor. I find that very fun.
He's kind of hilarious.
It is so funny, so hilarious.
But at any rate, like I said, I'm really happy with the direction that this game is moving in. I think that that this is probably going to be a new trendsetter.
Yeah.
For
as far as RPG games go, yeah.
Yeah, as far as RPG games go, it really does seem to me that this is going to like kick off. I think this is really going to kick off a full-on new thing. And then the mods coming out for this game are going to be deep and wide, and they're going to have a lot. And again, it just comes down to choice. Just comes down to player choice. Give the players as many choices as they can, so that we can all have the experience that we are wanting to see for the most part.
Yeah, right.
Don't hold things back, because that doesn't make sense, right? So
yeah. Okay, so thanks for joining us, everybody. It has been fun. Make sure, if you haven't already yet, hit that like button. It really helps us out a lot. And hit subscribe, so hopefully YouTube will send you notifications for when we post things. And yeah, join our Discord if you haven't already yet. Good bunch of people there. We're probably going to hop over there right away as soon as we end the stream. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, and we'll chat with you soon. Bye!